नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 9. Dhruv Maharaj returns home. So we have come to the point where Dhruv Maharaj is expressing his lamentation that he asked for something material when he approached the Supreme Lord. So those verses are now going to commence. Although he offered prayers where he asked for pure devotional service alone and the Bhakti association, but Lord said that I will fulfill your desires which were there earlier. So he felt that I think I did not ask very sincerely, So now you see how beautifully he prays. Dhruva Uvacha, together. Samadhina naika bhavenya yat padam vidusanandaya urdhvaretasa masairaham satpi amushya padayos chayamupetya pagata prithanmati.
Dhruva Maharaja thought to himself, to endeavor to be situated in the shade of the lotus feet of the Lord is not an ordinary task, because even the great brahmacharis headed by Sanandana, who practiced Ashtanga Yoga in trance, attained the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet only after many, many births. Within 6 months, I achieved the same result. Yet, due to my thinking differently from the Lord, I fell down from my position.
I have not chanted the full Mangalacharan. I chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा. Shaligram Prabhu, where are you?
Dharwad.
Achha, back at Dharwad.
I went back to Dharwad.
Okay.
The morning Radhasham Prabhu reached. So
Oh, correct. Radhashampur is there. Correct. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. So you can read again the translation, Prabhu.
Dhruva Maharaja thought to himself, to endeavor to be situated in the shade of the lotus feet of the Lord is not an ordinary task, because even the great brahmacharis headed by Sanandana, who practiced Ashtanga Yoga in trance, attained the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet only after many, many births. Within 6 months, I achieved the same result. Yet, due to my thinking differently from the Lord, I fell down from my position.
Yeah. So he got within 6 months only. But still, he's feeling what? He has fallen down from his position because he got turbulences. See, some words, pritak mati, my mind fixed on things other than the Lord. My mind was not fixed on the Lord. Actually, he was very focused on the Lord. But why is he saying so? That he had pritak mati?
Earlier, he had the idea of getting.
Yeah. See, when one is praying to the Lord, he is praying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. But if the heart is actually wanting material things like kingdom, that is, who has he given heart to? The kingdom, not to the Lord. Are you getting? The Pritak Mati means where one is actually not wanting to please the Lord for pleasing the Lord. I want to please the Lord so that I can get what I. So my heart is actually for that. You know, like one boy was saying that if this girl marries me, I'll marry that girl. Otherwise, I'll join Brahmacharya ashram. No, that means what the Lord is a secondary item. No, so so one cannot have that way. So like that. Even in the brahmacharis, Urdhva personalities, they take long, big austerities. Still, they cannot attain the Lord in one birth. It takes many births. Only after many births. So, how could I achieve in 6 months? Although I was having all type of material desire. So, read the purport.
In this verse, Dhruva Maharaja himself explains the cause of his moroseness. First, he laments that to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly is not easy. Even great saintly persons like the four celebrated brahmacharis headed by Sanatana, Sanaka, and Sanat Kumar practiced the yoga system for many births and remained in trance before getting the opportunity to see the Supreme Lord face to face. As far as Dhruva Maharaj was concerned, he saw the Supreme Lord personally after only 6 months of practice in devotional service. He expected, therefore, that as soon as he met the Lord would take him to his abode immediately without waiting. Dhruva Maharaja could understand very clearly that the Lord had offered him the rule of the world for 36,000 years because in the beginning he was under the spell of the material energy and wanted to take a revenge against his stepmother and rule over his father's kingdom. Dhruva Maharaj eagerly lamented his propensity for ruling the material world and his revengeful attitude towards other living entities.
So he's saying, Lord did not take me back to Godhead. Lord left me here and he has given me kingdom. He has given me news that my stepbrother and stepmother, they will die. Is this benediction or what has happened exactly? Huh? Why, Lord? Because of my own propensity. There he, there he actually, yeah, that time he is actually doing protection of Uttama. Actually, he is angry because now he has developed love for Uttama. And he went overboard in trying to do that duty. So, does he lament there or he? Yeah. But there does he? Actually, that is Ati Rosh mentioned, not revenge so much. He was supposed to punish the Yaksha, but he went he went overboard. Instead of one Yaksha, he started doing Narasimha genocide, trying to kill everyone. Many birds. Let's see what is the word used there. See, samadhina na eka bhavena. Eka bhavena. Bhaven means birth. No? Birth and death is bhava rog bhava. So एक birth में मिलते नहीं है भगवान. Sometimes devotees also talk about Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said that 3 births thing. So like that the people quote. है ना, एक बर्थ में मिलते नहीं है, वही बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे. समाधि में भी लग गए तो भी न एक भवेन. One he cannot be attained in one birth, and I got him in 6 months. है ना? So the point is that Lord is very difficult to attain. You know, technicality aside. Letter of the law versus. Yeah. So I'll also show you little of the purpose. Actually, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is important to keep. Oops. Okay, read.
Naika Bhavena means not in one lifetime. Remember that he was situated in the shade of the Lord, who was seated on Garuda. Dhruva speaks. Having achieved that shade, I fell down, apagata, because my mind was thinking of things other than the Lord, Prutanmathi. Therefore, the Lord did not take me to his abode with him.
He was situated in the shade of the Lord. Literally, he was like when Lord has boarded Garuda. So in the shade of the Lord, he was a small child. He came in the shade only. Aho bata Aho bata mamatnatmyam manda bhagasya pashyata avachidda padamulam gatva yache yad antavat.
Alas, just look at me. I am so unfortunate. I approach the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can immediately cut the chain of repetition of birth and death, but still, out of my foolishness, I prayed for things which are perishable.
So one word is anatmyam here, bodily consciousness. Prabhupada will elaborate there. And he went for antavat items which are perishable. Yeah, read this.
Dhruv Maharaj regrets his unfortunate position. For although he approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always able to give his devotee the highest benediction of cessation of the repetition of birth and death, which is impossible for any demigod to offer, he foolishly wanted something perishable.
So then he gives the example of Hiranyakashipu, who wanted immortality, but he went to Brahmaji, and Brahmaji said, sorry sir, this is not my quota, I can't give it to you. I am myself perishable. No? So Harim Vina na Ritim Taranti. I cannot. So he is Bhavachit. The Lord is also called as Bhavachit. Means he can only stop the cycle of birth and death. The Vaishnava? Right?
The Vaishnava philosophy in the process of Krishna consciousness prohibits the devotee from all kinds of material aspirations.
Now you may say, Arey, prohibits? Shuru mein Prabhupada was earlier telling that it is wrong to say that someone who is not, someone with material desire cannot approach the Supreme Lord. No? We talked so much time. So one who is having material desire, also we should encourage him for worshipping Supreme Lord. And here now Prabhupada said, the Vaishnava philosophy in the process of Krishna consciousness prohibits the devotee from all kind of material aspiration. Then again,
a Vaishnava devotee should always be anyabhilasita sunyam, free from all material aspirations for the results of fruitive activities or empiric philosophical speculation.
So it's a contradictory statement. Huh? So person will say, "Arey, you cheated me. Pehle you said this, then you said that." So see, in the beginning, I'll tell you, it is connected to this, but in general, I'll tell you about even dovetailing propensities. So initially, one propensities are dovetailed in Krishna consciousness, and that way he feels like doing something for Krishna. ना? ओके, आपको अच्छा बैंक बैलेंस चाहिए, नौकरी चाहिए तो करो, चैंटिंग करो, लेकिन ग्रेजुअली विल बिकम प्योरीफाइड. देन यू लाइक टू डू निष्कामा. You will like to also follow the regulative principles given by the spiritual master. Once he comes under the Diksha process, then also the spiritual master will engage according to his propensity, because that way he will do nice devotional services. Swabhava is checked by the spiritual master. The spiritual master will see what is his nature. But so now the desire is gone, but his nature is still being. First, there is Sakama also, and there is Sakama is there, and also karma is also like what is his swabhava, that is also seen. Someone like to play guitar, okay, play guitar in for Krishna, you know, and he is thinking, I am playing guitar, so many people must be watching me. No? Then he comes into regulative, bro, guitar bajana to prerna festival kare. No, no. He comes under regulations, and then he understands that I should do my committed bhajan properly. And by that his material desire goes away, but still his swabhava is the basic context. So you will be engaged according to his swabhava by the spiritual master. And at a certain stage, the person becomes free from this whole the subtle body's clutches also. That time he can flexibly serve the master according to the desire of the master. That time it is not such a difficult thing to do apadharma all the time also, because his heart has become the soul can use the body without the subtle body interfering it actually. That is the highest stage. So you will see in it comes in the third chapter in the in the Bhagavad Gita, somewhere it comes, the Vishwamitra Muni's thing. There it comes that he was earlier Kshatriya, and then he wanted to become Brahmana, you know. So he did a lot of effort, but actually he was always caught up in the mati of being a Kshatriya only. So he was not able to. Finally, by the mercy of Vasishtha, he could become Brahma Rishi also. But yeah, actually, the person, when he goes beyond the three modes, when he's in the Vaishnava uh, consciousness, he can flexibly use his existence for the for the service of the Lord. That is the highest thing which a great soul gets by the purification process. But generally, the Swabhava will be engaged according to the Swabhava. But still, he can do anything as per the order of the Lord. So first desire is purified, then Swabhava is also purified, and then one goes beyond Swabhava. Like that. Okay. So Vaishnava philosophy, one is prohibited. So this is for the advanced devotee. You know, the first stage, okay. जो भी चाहिए भगवान से मांग लो. ना? Read. Dhruv Maharaj was. Yeah.
That although he was
No, you can
initi-
read this part also. Dhruv Maharaj was.
Dhruv Maharaj was actually initiated by Narad Muni, the greatest Vaishnava. In the chanting of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, this mantra is a Vishnu mantra. For practicing the chanting of this mantra, one is elevated to the Vishnu Loka. Dhruv Maharaj regrets that although he was initiated in the Vishnu mantra by a Vaishnava, he still aspired for material benefits. That was another cause for lamentation.
So one is that he got his material aspiration fulfilled of having a kingdom greater than Brahmaji. Another lamentation is revengeful feeling towards mother and stepmother and stepbrother. Third lamentation is I was initiated by a great Vaishnava in Vishnu mantra, and then what I did, I got material benefit on it. What is the use, you know? See, read this.
Although he got the result of the Vishnu mantra by the causeless mercy of the Lord, he lamented how foolish he was to have strived for material benefits while practicing devotional service. In other words, every one of us who is engaged in devotional service in Krishna consciousness should be completely free from all material aspirations. Otherwise, we will have to lament like Dhruv Maharaj.
Be completely free. So this is for all ISKCON devotees. No, those are serious practitioners. They should take this message very seriously. Matir vidushita devai patad bir asahishnubi yo narada vachastatyam nagrahisam asattamaha.
Since all the demigods who are situated in the higher planetary system will have to come down again, they are all envious of my being elevated to Vaikuntha Loka by devotional service. These intolerant demigods have dissipated my intelligence, and only for this reason could I not accept the genuine benediction of the instructions of sage Narada.
I know what question you have. You read first.
As shown by many, when a person undergoes severe austerities, the demigods become very much perturbed because they are always afraid of losing their posts.
So their life is also temporary. Their post is temporary. Kissa kursi ka, So they are caught up in that. Yes.
It is a fact that the demigods control the different activities of the limbs of our bodies. Factually, we are not free even in moving our eyelids. Everything is controlled by them. Dhruva Maharaj's conclusion is that these demigods, being envious of his superior position in devotion service, conspired against him to pollute his intelligence, and thus, although he was the disciple of a great Vaishnava Narad Muni, he could not accept Narada's valid instructions. Dhruva Maharaj regretted very much that he could not take seriously the instructions of his spiritual master and that his consciousness was therefore contaminated. Still, the Lord is so merciful that due to Dhruva's execution of devotional service, he offered Dhruva the ultimate Vaishnava goal.
So he got the Vaishnava goal. That means he understood Bhakti is the goal of life. He got pure devotion service now. But still all the other things have come. That is, it's like sweet rice mila, लेकिन उसमें थोड़ा सब कंकड़ मिला हुआ है, no? Okay, let's read Vishwanath Chakravarti. Not this one, the next one. Yeah.
Dhruva imagines the cause of his ignorance. My intelligence was contaminated by Devtas who fall further than me and are therefore envious. Narada's words were, at this young age, do not consider the words of your stepmother.
So your question will be? Batao question. Why is he blaming the demigods? Actually, there is a nature of the demigods to be envious. That is there. Prithu Maharaj case, when he is doing Shatakratu Yagna, he had no goal for becoming Indra actually. But Indra becomes insecure about it. So even when we do devotional service, if we have any material hankering, then we can land up in heaven. We can be made Indra also. So Indra starts becoming insecure. So that's what he's telling as a matter of fact, that there was an insecurity. Huh? Yeah, Mantra's intelligence was bewildered by the demigods to contaminate Kai, so that Lord goes and kills the Rakshasas. So demigods do play a role, these kind of things. And here Dhruv Maharaj is telling it as a feature of theirs. It's not like he's blaming them. He takes responsibility also, you will see. So actually we should know that demigods will speak through other living entities, through our mind, to bewilder our intelligence. When I was joining ashram, so my boss told me that you are doing a very good job. So even if you're leaving the company because of health reason, but you can join the company again if you want after you complete your health treatment. मैंने बोला ये तो बेट दे रहा है बेट, you know. Huh?
Prabhuji, here he's telling envious of going to Vaikuntha Loka. So Vaikuntha Loka गए तो उनके पोजीशन को तो डेंजर ही नहीं है ना डेमीगॉड्स को, उनके लिए तो अच्छा है,
उनको तो फायदा हो जाएगा.
हाँ उनको तो फायदा ही हो रहा है,
जा रहा है सीधा जाओ 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 इधर मत रहने.
शुद्ध भक्त कर, like we also hear that demigods are also happy when we practice devotional service.
Correct.
So how to understand this?
Okay, then I'll check more detail and tell you. I have to pause the question there. On that point, I don't know. But demigod do bewilder our intellect, that I can tell you about. To be locked up in the something lower.
Lower.
So I was telling on that when we are joining ashram, so demigods play games. You know? So when I was joining, so this boss told me like this, and then another boss came and told, "Can you go for 3 months to US? We'll give you double salary for those 3 months." मैंने बोला बाप रे, अभी तो छोड़ने की बातें कर रहा हूँ ये और यूएस भेजने की बात कर रहे हैं, वहीं पे फंस गया पता चला. हाँ? तो and then mother father told, so beta, what you do, you don't have to do any job, we have enough money, you know, you can simply do 24-hour devotion service only, we just need you with us, just do devotional service, do bhajan, हम तेरे लिए मंदिर ही बना देंगे यहाँ पे, हाँ? शादी भी मत कर, हम भी तेरे साथ भजन करेंगे, हाँ? And then my Dadi Ma told, she was initiated in Brahma Sam, she is initiated, so she's now left. But she was seeing my father cry, mother cry, you know. So Dadi Ma said, देख, तू तो प्रियव्रत है, तुझे तो माया छुएगी नहीं, शादी कर ले, ये दोनों का भी दिल रह जाएगा, है ना? तेरे को तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु की कृपा मिल गई है, अभी भक्ति चढ़ गया तेरे को, तो कुछ और नहीं चढ़ेगा तेरे को, संसार नहीं चढ़ सकता तुझको, तो शादी कर ले. ऐसे बोली मेरे को, नो. मैं बोला बाप रे, डेमिगॉड्स पूरा पूरा प्लान बना रहे हैं, 3-4 बार इधर उधर से सब जगह से भागो भागो भाई, निकलो यहाँ से. No? So I don't know, all of you faced or not. Huh? So demigods have their own way of trying to dovetail us. No, sorry, distract us from our austerities. But your point is noted. I'll try to get some reference. Actually, Radheshampu had asked the same question to Maharaj, Srila Radhanath Maharaj. I'm not able to recall that answer. I'll check and tell you. Maharaj had answered this question. The question is exactly asked by Radheshampu, and then Radheshampu, Maharaj answered also. Daivi mayam upashritya prasupta iva bhinnadrik tapye dvitiyepi sati bhartrivya hridruja.
Dhruv Maharaj lamented, I was under the influence of the illusory energy. Being ignorant of the actual facts, I was sleeping on her lap. Under a vision of duality, I saw my brother as my enemy, and falsely I lamented within my heart, thinking, they are my enemies.
So I was sleeping. See that Jiva Jago, no? Kota Nidra, Jayo Ma Pisachir. Same thing he's saying here. Illusory energy. I was sleeping on her lap. So here, read the purport.
Real knowledge is revealed to a devotee only when he comes to the right conclusion about life by the grace of the Lord. Our creation of friends and enemies within this material world is something like dreaming at night.
Read the white part also.
In dreams, we can create so many things out of various impressions in the subconscious mind. But all such creations are simply temporary and unreal. In the same way, although apparently we are awake in material life, because we have no information of the soul and the super soul, we create many friends and enemies simply out of imagination. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says that within this material world or material consciousness, good and bad are the same. The distinction between good and bad is simply a mental concoction. The actual fact is that all living entities are son of God or byproducts of his marginal energy. Because of our being contaminated by the modes of material nature, we distinguish one spiritual spark from another. That is also another kind of dreaming. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that those who are actually learned do not make any distinction between a learned scholar, a brahmana, an elephant, a dog, and a chandal. They do not see in terms of external body. Rather, they see the person as spirit soul. By higher understanding, one can know that the material body is nothing but a combination of the 5 material elements. In that sense, also the bodily construction of a human being and that of a demigod are one and the same. Either materially or spiritually, we are basically one, but we make friends and enemies as dictated by the illusory energy.
Yeah. See, this is a very important concept, especially even as practicing devotees. Sometimes you divide the devotee world also into friend and enemy. You know, he is in favor of me, he is against me. You know, we have got some agenda in this world actually. Then only we divide into friend and enemy on the bodily concept of life. Yudhishthira Maharaj was Ajata Shatru. Yudhishthira Maharaj was Ajata Shatru, but do you think Duryodhana was not his enemy? Was Duryodhana having an intention to harm him? Then how can he be called Ajata Shatru? How? Is he Bevkuf? Is he knave that he does not see any problem only? Mike में बोलिए. He sees the problem, but he says छोड़ देते.
No, he sees everybody first as part and parcel of Lord, but now he's behaving in certain way. So I'll have to respond in certain way, not due to he is my enemy, but due to circumstantial his conditioning, and he's not following dharma which is pleasing to Lord. So I would respond in a way which is pleasing to Lord by following the dharma. He's still seeing him as soul only, part and parcel of Lord. But right now in this position, Lord has suggested me to follow this dharma. So I'll follow by responding him in this way. So for his consciousness, he is not enemy. But for Duryodhana, he is doing whatever he is doing as an enemy towards Yudhishthira Maharaj. He is not seeing him as part and parcel of Lord, same as soul and all.
Yeah. So good, Prabhu. And so there is a sense of understanding also that he may cause me harm and all. For example, when Varnavrat happened, you know, so they were sending, after making a nice place for picnic, they are sending Pandavas. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was, ऐसा क्यों? Huh? They are not going for picnic, they are sending us. There is some problem. You know? And when he approached Vidura, he told that when there is fire, the rats are able to save themselves because of his underground. So he understood. Surang बना के निकलने का है बस. You know? So he was very fine. You know, he knew how to. He gave a riddle type of statement because सबके सामने कैसे बोले. But he understood, and they are not like knave people. भोंदू या बेवकूफ नहीं होते वो लोग. You know? But they know that one thing which he said is that what Pandurang Srimpu was saying, that he is suffering based on his own modes, his own coverings. He is acting in a way which is inappropriate. And no one can harm me if it is not my karma. No? That also one is very clear. Not that Duryodhana is having animosity, then he is the cause of my trouble. Don't blame the instrument of your karma. So they don't divide into friend and enemy. See, Duryodhana is a very extreme case we are taking. In the devotee world also, if we are not empowered for something, management did not, management is partial. Initiation नहीं हुआ हमारा, ये हुआ वो हुआ, कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं ना. So we can be caught up in the idea of the external immediate source of the immediate cause of the situation. But it requires a very sublime mind to be able to see the dealing with the Lord. Lord is dealing with me and I am dealing with the Lord. And this situation external, I'll deal on a practical front without becoming agitated and causing like blame game over people. Because see, even that's why we were talking earlier, when Dhruva was agitated, what did Mother Suniti say? Do not feel envious of anyone. Do not cause harm to anyone. And I am suffering because of my own bhagya. So one should be very clear. She could have said that Suruchi is the cause of my suffering. है ना? अगर ये सुरुचि नहीं होती तो मेरे से ही प्रेम करते वो, है ना? एक ही पत्नी तो उसी से प्रेम करेंगे. सुरुचि से प्रेम हो गया इसलिए मेरे से मेरे को तिरस्कार कर दिया. But one should know that मेरा तिरस्कार होना था इस जगत. Now he is doing तिरस्कार, that is his problem. But मेरा तिरस्कार होना था, that is my karma. So that when the person is very clear, then he can deal with the other party without having a vengeance feeling toward the party. There may be a part where someone has to give the dharmic point also. So that he will give the dharmic point to those who he has to give to. But he will not be caught in friend and enemy. So that friend and enemy thing which we divide in, I have seen people, like say suppose now, like actually in ISKCON world also, sometimes devotees want to say, suppose they want to blame management, and two people have similar problem with the management, then they become friend, and they'll do talk a lot about managers. Sometimes someone is a manager, and the people who align with him, he thinks they are very good devotees, and if anyone is not according to him, then they are very bad devotees. No, you getting na? It is very easy. The ego plays so many games, na. We divide the world into who is favoring my way of life and who is against me. To be on the platform of Atma is not easy. Say someone is, say you want to say youth preaching hona chahiye, and devotee says, but Prabhupada said that book distribution is very important. You have taken you have taking a meeting and you're telling everyone should go for youth preaching, something, everyone or something, whatever like that, you're pushing forward the youth preaching agenda. And one fellow says, Prabhupada said book distribution. You say, ये क्या बीच में आ गया है ना, मेरे मिशन के बीच में आ गया, you feel like as if your mission is getting choked up by these fellows' statement. So the Atma Buddhi is very strong, Prabhu. And anything which goes against our plan making, our idea of how I will be, like say devotee is there, he is serving you very nicely. You feel he is the best devotee, yeah, wo. Suddenly he says, Prabhuji, I want to have this spiritual master, and he is not your spiritual master. Suddenly you become little averse to this guy. So that means what? Dhyatma Buddhi is. Dhyatma Buddhi. Friend and enemy. कोई मेरे गुरु का डिसाइपल नहीं है, मतलब दुश्मन है मेरा. अभी तक दोस्त था, है ना, अभी तक बेस्ट डिवोटी था, अभी तक वर्स्ट हो गया अभी वो. बिकॉज बेस्ट डिवोटी इज वेरी कैरिस्मेटिक, वेरी इन्फ्लुएंशियल. And now he is taking another spiritual master. Many others will also take because he is very influential. So best boy has become worst boy now, because he is going to make everyone get inspired by another spiritual master. Such a mess. This world is such a dirty world. I feel like just by seeing this world, I feel it's not a worthy place for a gentleman to निकल चलो इधर दुनिया से. टेम्पल प्रेसिडेंट इज, इसको रेकमेंड ही नहीं करूंगा जब तक ये मेरी बात नहीं सुनेगा, इसका दीक्षा ही नहीं कराएंगे. So all this friend and enemy business just goes on and on in all so many ways. Yeah. Actually, to be above this, we have to get the mercy of the great souls. We have to think of what is the master's desires. Like say, suppose you are told to serve with some devotee who is very different from your nature. क्या किसके साथ सर्व? But he may be very good at something which you are not good at. So it is good to have him. But sometimes he is not good with you, but he is good at what he has to do. So can we serve together for Prabhupada? Yes, matlab, it takes time. It takes the heart of a Vaishnava to do that, no? Yeah. Otherwise, it is very easy to serve with people who you like. And if I don't like Prabhuji, so now I redefine dedication के लिए बोलते हैं ना, anything, anytime, anywhere. So I've added one more, with anyone. No? इसके साथ नहीं, उसके साथ नहीं, ऐसा छुई मुई का पेड़ बन के बैठा रहता है ना. बिकॉज फ्रेंड ने एनिमी डिवाइड करके रख दिया दुनिया को, है ना. इस्कॉन वर्ल्ड के अंदर, बाहर को छोड़ दो. इस्कॉन वर्ल्ड में ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम के अंदर ही डिवाइड करता है. So we have to be very careful. People may not match our conception. Sometimes you will see the senior devotees have a lot of appreciation for that person. Like one devotee, he was creating a lot of nuisance value for other devotees, one brahmachari. So the other brahmachari was saying, इसको प्रभु इतना ऑफेंस कर रहा है, इसकी वजह से भक्ति में बहुत डाउन हो जाएगा, बेटर है इसको आश्रम चेंज हो जाए, है ना. So they were all advising the president, but president was a very exalted personality. President said that no, he has certain good tastes in certain pure spiritual activity. Let him go on. So devotees were thinking, kya Prabhuji, he will offend and all that. But over a period of time, he became mellowed down also by the process of bhakti. Like one devotee, first devotee's name I'm not telling because you know in that devotee. This second devotee I'm telling. So this is Paramahansa Gopalakrishna Maharaj. So Paramahansa Gopalakrishna Maharaj was dealing with one case. The management was saying, Prabhuji, this devotee always criticizes management, always creates fights and all that. And Maharaj said, okay, so चन्नामृत पी रहा है क्या? बोले हाँ पी रहा है, चन्नामृत तो पी रहा है इसमें. What is the correlation between this and that? हाँ? तो ठीक हो जाएगा, हाँ? ठीक हो जाएगा. हमको क्या लगता है चरणामृत तो डिटेल है, हमारे को पोटेंसी नहीं पता है चरणामृत की. जो शुद्ध भक्त होते हैं उनको पता है चरणामृत से भी हो जाता है भैया पार. हमको लगता है चरणामृत पीने में क्या बड़ा चीज होगा, इतने दिनों से परेशान किया हुआ है हमको, यू नो, यू गेटिंग ना. द फेथ इज वेरी हाई. अनदर पर्सनालिटी, he was criticizing Paramahansa Gopalakrishna Maharaj only. He was disciple of Maharaj and he was always criticizing Maharaj. For him तो the devotees became very, इसको तो बाहर निकालना ही है, महाराज का अपराध कर रहा है. and महाराज was very comment, नहीं रखे रहो. हाँ. फिर क्या हुआ कि अपराध के कारण वो बाहर हो गया. मतलब भक्तों ने नहीं बाहर किया क्योंकि महाराज अलाउ ही नहीं कर रहे थे. फिर वो भक्ति से बाहर हो गया, फिर बहुत परेशान रहा. तो जब परेशान था, सारे भक्त देखो अपराध किया ना महाराज का, इसलिए हुआ तेरा ये. और महाराज उसको बहुत तब भी प्रेम देते रहे. वो प्रेम देते रहे तो वो वापस आ गया भक्ति में. तो वो भक्ति में क्यों आया? क्योंकि महाराज ने उसको डिवाइड नहीं किया फ्रेंड एंड एनिमी में. ये नहीं कि ये मेरा अपराध करता है, गुरु अपराध, मान निकालो इसको, है ना. तो इसीलिए संत की जरूरत होती है, जो ये फ्रेंड एंड एनिमी में फर्क नहीं बनाता है. ऐसे जो वन हु हेट्स हिम ही कैनॉट हेट हिम. Srila Radhanath Maharaj said, if you cannot love the person who hates you the most, you do not know what is love at all. मैंने जब सुना ये, मैंने बोला भाई दोबारा से पढ़ता हूँ थोड़ा, ये क्या बोला महाराज. मतलब कि that love is not bound by bodily understanding, you know. He is hating me, it is a bodily concept, you know. How heavy statement है ना. हमें क्या लगता है, हमारे को किन्हीं से प्यार है, एंड किन्हीं लोगों से हम प्यार नहीं कर पा रहे. लेकिन महाराज क्या बोले, इफ यू कैन नॉट लव द पर्सन हु हेट्स यू द मोस्ट, यू डू नॉट नो लव एट ऑल. मतलब किसी से प्रेम किया ही नहीं तुमने. व्हाट आर वी डूइंग? वी आर ग्रेटफुल टू दोज हु पैम्पर आवर बॉडी माइंड एंड सोल, यू नो, कि या आप कितने अच्छे हैं, कुछ सेवा कर दिया हमारे लिए. लाइक द हस्बैंड इज, व्हेन द वाइफ हैज डाइड, so he is crying and you ask him why you are crying. She would get me bed tea, she would make nice food for me. So he is crying in separation from wife or bed tea, huh? Yeah. So that is what people give sense gratification, and we divide the whole world with who is giving and who is not giving. So we should be very careful. Am I partial towards those who are favoring my opinion? Am I condemning just because someone is against my opinions? And in management, it can happen very easily, because you have to take decisions, and obviously you need people who can favor your thing also. But our mind should not become averse to people just because they are opposing the opinion, you know. See, actually, if someone is opposing the opinion, he can also bring out something which may be a con. Con means con, con. It can be some disadvantage in the plan that I'm making. He can bring out some things which I have to be careful about, you know. Like now, is Ritvik our enemy? Is Ritvik an enemy? No one can be enemy. They may be acting in some ways, but they cannot be enemy. So one positive way to see Ritviks is they are finding out all the problems which are there so that we can try to solve them. Let them find the problem. Like leech होती है ना, लीच सारा गंदा ब्लड निकालती है ना, जिससे सारा साफ हो जाता है. तो जितना भी इस्कॉन का गंदा ब्लड है उसको पीने का काम किसने लिखा है? ऋत्विक ने उठाया हुआ है ना. उनको अपना वेल विशर रखो और बताओ थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हम साफ करेंगे बैठ के, है ना. कोई तो निकालने के लिए बैठा है. फॉल्ट फाइंडिंग मेंटालिटी इज डवटेलिंग इज फॉल्ट फाइंडिंग मेंटालिटी एंड ही इज आउटसाइड. तो ओके, ही वेरी फाइन ट्यून्ड इन ट्राइंग टू. कौन सा गड़बड़ है ना, वही लीच वही जाके वही डर्टी ब्लड पिएगा. बाकी सब जो अच्छा चल रहा है उसको नहीं बताएगा. तो ये लोगों को साथ में रखने से क्या होगा, हमें पता लगता रहेगा कहाँ कहाँ गड़बड़ चल रहा है. वरना हम वैष्णव दृष्टि रखना चाहते हैं, उसके बीच में जो गड़बड़ चल रहा है वो कहीं निकल ना जाए, इसके लिए थोड़ा सा वो ये मदद दे रहे हैं. So I'm not saying that you have to praise them, but one can have a positive outlook that everyone is trying to help me.
आपने कहा, you said that devotee is not bondhu, means that point
Should not be bondhu at least.
should not be bondhu.
There are devotees who
So
are
means
bondhu.
one point is that we may misunderstand management, but the reality of the today's world is that there can be wrong on the part of management also.
Yes.
And then devotee has not to be bondhu.
Yes.
So what he has to do, that's the point. Means sometime devotee, if he takes some stand, like just like Yudhishthir Maharaj is digging the hole and coming out of that Lakshagraha. So if some kind of step is the devotee has taken, so outwardly it may appear as rebellion or something.
When we say today the nature of management is such that managers can also be wrong, do you think Shingi was right? Do you think Shingi was right when he cursed Parikshit? So why did Parikshit take it in the other way? Why did Parikshit take it in the other way? Do you think when who was that who cursed Indradumna and he became Gajendra? Agastya? Do you think he was right about it? Just because he was Bechara meditating only and suddenly he was cursed.
Both examples. That Lakshagraha example is that he did the needful of coming out of that protection.
So no. First of all, I am trying to say one important point. Don't think that ISKCON management today, the management is so bad that we cannot take the spiritual paradigm of life. Previous, all the Bhagavatas, Mahabhagavats who we are discussing in the Bhagavatam, they had all the right personalities on the other side, and then they had to apply Bhagavatam principle. No. They also were done atrocity only. When Shingi is going wrong, he is going wrong. He is Brahmana. He is supposed to apply Dharma more or Parikshit? Who should align more with the Dharma? Brahmana should be more aligned, no? So he is going wrong. He is authority. He is supposed to be right. Right? So when we say, actually sometimes, in ISKCON world, people think, वो भागवतम मत सुनाओ मुझको, है ना? अभी क्या बात बताओ, ISKCON मैनेजमेंट में गड़बड़ है या नहीं, है ना? One devotee was talking to me, तो ये ISKCON में आगे बढ़ने के लिए गॉड फादर लगता है. मैंने बोला इसका क्या परपट दो पहले, क्या मतलब है? मतलब कोई बड़ा आदमी होना चाहिए आपके ऊपर जिसका आप मतलब he loves you, you flatter him, and then you can go up the ladder. This is a very manipulative way of talking actually. That means what you are thinking, you are going to go up the ladder of ISKCON. Do you want to go up the ladder of ISKCON? You want to go back to Godhead? Whatever Krishna wants to do with you, if ISKCON management is wrong also, can anyone, किसी के दम है क्या कि अगर कृष्णा आपको दुनिया में सबसे ऊपर ले जाना चाहता है तो कोई रोक सकता है? अरे डेमीगॉड्स लक्ष्मी जी की सेवा करते हैं, लक्ष्मी जी भगवान की सेवा करती है. ध्रुव महाराज को जब उनको ध्रुव लोक देना था तो कोई रोक पाया क्या सूरज जी देख कुछ कर सकती थी क्या? नो वन कैन स्टॉप. दैट इज द फेथ वी हैव टू हैव. This world, whether we call ISKCON inside world or outside world, nothing can stop. It is between me and Krishna. Nakshatras cannot stop me. Nothing can stop. I have to have faith in Krishna dealing with me, not that management is dealing with me. First, First, we have to have that. I'm going to give you the complete answer. Don't worry. What we should do, you are asking, na? First of all, have faith that in this situation, Krishna is involved. Krishna is the cause of all causes. Krishna has something to do for me in this situation. If this first foundational faith is not there, we get into tit for tat business only. You're getting, na? So, oftentimes devotees don't apply transcendental wisdom only. They're simply caught up in the daily affair of, तूने ऐसा बोला, मैं वैसा बोलूंगा. Then what is the difference between a transcendentalist and a mundane fellow? Just because we have come into ISKCON and wearing this dress, are we a transcendentalist? Transcendentalist means he sees with the vision of a sadhu that this is Krishna's plan for me. Unless we have come to that point, talking on the practicality will be simply like a duck who walks on the ground and he cannot fly like the swan. So we have to define whether we want to be a duck or a swan. If we want to be a swan, a hamsa, a Vaishnava, then first of all we have to have spiritual vision towards the situation. Then action. First vision, then action. If the vision is impure, if we are seeing him as an enemy, we have no hope of doing right action because we have already divided the world into friend and enemy. There is no way we can act appropriately. We are already attached. We are already attached. We want the outcome to happen in this way, then only I consider it justice.
First we have to have spiritual vision. Then we may do something that.
And then what has to be done, I'll come to that. But first, spiritual vision. I am very emphatic on that because I've seen enough mess. People say, हमारे ऊपर वाले corrupt हैं, इसलिए हम क्यों सुने उनकी बात? हम ऐसा. I am not saying that you hear a corrupt instruction. Not that वो बोले कि पैसे में गोलमाल करो तो कर दो गोलमाल. No. If he is not empowering you for a post, do you have any problem? No. You won't have a problem if you are not craving for a post. No. So materially we can be done injustice. But for Krishna consciousness, there is no injustice actually. Krishna consciousness works on a spiritual paradigm. जो भगवान कर रहे हैं मेरे कुछ तो भगवान मेरे लिए हित कर रहे होंगे. क्या कर रहे हैं हमेशा समझ नहीं आएगा. तो कम से कम इतना एक बेसिक फेथ लेके चलना ही पड़ेगा प्रभु. वरना हम ISKCON के अंदर बस पॉलिटिक्स करने बैठ जाएंगे. है ना? Now you may say, प्रभु जी, you may say this way, but है पॉलिटिक्स. ISKCON में पॉलिटिक्स है. वो पॉलिटिक्स के अंदर अगर हम शटो शाट्यम, है ना, शटो शाट्यम पता है ना, with the cunning you have to deal as a with a cunning mind, tit for tat, you know. So प्रभु जी आप ऐसा चलेंगे तो आपको दबा दिया जाएगा, आप कहीं के नहीं रहेंगे, आपको सिर्फ झाड़ू पोछे लगाना पड़ेगा. कुछ करने तो झाड़ू पोछा लगाने को दे रहे हैं ना. See, the person who has understood the goal of life, na, he does not get into this track only. He is not in the rat race. First of all, we have to get out of this rat race of ISKCON world. ISKCON world में rat race है ना? लोग पोस्ट पोजीशन के पीछे भागता है. अगर हम उस rat race के बाहर नहीं गए, then we are a rat only. We may be running ahead or behind, but we are a rat. First, become a swan. So when we have that vision, then on the dharmic platform, what is my duty to do in this situation? That we can think of. Like one devotee asked Srila Radhanath Maharaj, sometimes someone is spreading rumors about us. No? So what should we do as a leader? No? What should we do if someone is spreading rumors? So should we clarify it or should not clarify it? And if we clarify it, what should be the motive behind clarification? You know? So Maharaj said, see, if it is only troubling your own mind, it is not troubling your service, then you can digest it as your purification. And if it is causing harm to your service, then as a service, you may have to clarify. That means, if suppose now as a rumor, because of that, you cannot offer, say you are a leader, and when your character is being judged, then to clarify is important or not? Important. But if it is based on our ego, then it is not good. But if it is based on that, to ensure that my service is done well, I have to clarify. So Krishna also had to clarify his position when Samantaka money problem, Lord Ram had to keep his rapport good. Then they are doing it out of service attitude. So one has to be very clear, why am I doing what I am doing? You know, not that ये लोग ऐसा बोल रहे हैं, अभी मैं देखो मैं दिखाता हूँ इनको क्या है, you know. So this basic foundation has to be right, bro. Then the person actually acts in, first of all, sane ways. थोड़ा sanity रहता है उसके dealings में. And you will see, Prabhu, the one who remains calm and peaceful through those things, no? So people regard him more. Simply agitated responses don't give any sobriety to the answer, you know. Just give me 1 minute. Hare Krishna. Yes. Oh. आप क्या करो, रेवती जी को फोन, क्योंकि वहाँ पे मेरा भी कंट्रोल है. आप एक बार रेवती जी को फोन, अभी वो अलग, ठीक है. 19264 है मेरा, 275 है, पर 264. हाँ, वरना श्री भागवत से गूगल मारी. सॉरी, ये रिकॉर्डिंग में भी गया ना. ठीक है, क्या हुआ, क्या कह रहे थे? या सो फर्स्ट कीप योर vision pure, you know, never get contaminated in the vision. So his Gaurang Prabhu told there are 3 types of responses, you know, devotional response, political response, and emotional response. You know, emotional response are like drama. You know, it's actually political response means what? हम भी दिखाएंगे हम कौन हैं, you know, that is political response. And emotional response, ठीक है, हम ऐसे हमारे ऊपर तो कुचल दो हमारे को, हम हैं, no? And devotional responses, there are 2 parts to it. Devotional response has 2 parts. First is seeing with vision what Krishna, what you wanted to do for me. And second part is Krishna, what you want me to do for you. Devotional response has 2 parts. What is Krishna's will in this for me? Like, how did Parikshit take? Krishna wanted to make me detached from this kingly life. And what is my duty now? I should go to hear his katha. That is my response. And he confirmed his response with the sages. This is one example. Like that, Prahlad is always thinking Krishna is protecting me through all the situations. So what Krishna is doing for me is Krishna. Like Prahlad could have said, "Hum bhi uthayega," you know. He could have killed Hiranyakashipu in a moment also. If he had prayed to Krishna, kill this guy, he would have been finished in that moment only. But he is not doing that. He is only absorbed in the Lord's bhakti. So his goal is only that. No? So according to our adhikar, our action is defined. And what Krishna is doing is he already knows what is our adhikar and what he should do for us. So we should have implicit faith in Krishna's action for us. And if we are able to understand what he tried to do for us, that is great. But if we are not able to understand, we should at least have implicit faith. So that is Krishna's side. We have pure vision. Krishna is dealing with me, not nakshatras, not management, not this living entity, not that living entity. Krishna. And then what I should do for Krishna? According to my adhikar. You know, like there can be great souls, like Haridas Thakur, he's being beaten in 22 marketplaces, and he can pray for the prosecutors also. Can we do that? You know, there are personalities who are ready to do extreme things actually. In the Uttamadhikari state, they will do things where they don't care for their body only. They don't care. Forget about justice. They, like Vasudev the leper, he's removed the worms which are coming out of the body. He's putting back the worms because he said that this body is a shared property of the worms and myself. Can we do this? We should go to doctor and get cured. No? So according to our adhikar, we should do our action side. You know? So that adhikar, we may have to get wisdom from the Vaishnavas that what I should do in that situation. That is not formula. There is no formula on that. The one formula is dharma vipra achyuta ashraya. We should take shelter of dharma through shastra. Vipra means Vaishnavas and achyuta. Do your good sadhana. Based on this, do the right action. But adhikar, how will it be defined? It is all, situation to situation. Yeah. Clear? Yeah. Okay. Friend, enemy बांटना नहीं है बस, basically. This is what Prahlad Maharaj was saying, that this whole world divides the whole, these people divide into friend and enemy. See, they are thinking Vishnu is the enemy. Why? Why Vishnu is the enemy? Because he has killed Hiranyaksh. मेरे भाई को मारा था. Hiranyakashipu is thinking like that, na? That's why he thinks, did Vishnu try to kill Hiranyaksh, or Hiranyaksh was doing wrong thing? When Putana was killed by Krishna. So Aghasur is thinking, इसने मेरी बहन बकी और बका को मारा, अभी मेरे भाई और बहन का जो क्या बोलते हैं, नहीं मारने वाला है क्या, नहीं कातिल है, उसका खून पिएगा, हत्यारा है वो, वो किसने किसको मारना चाहे, भगवान तो लीला कर रहे थे, बांसुरी बजा रहे थे, वही आके मारना चाह रहे हैं, वो मर गई तो उसको क्या बोला, इसने मारा. पॉइजन कौन देना चाह रहा था, पूतना दे रही थी या भगवान दे रहे थे, खुद आगे वो पॉइजन दे रही है. पॉइजन चूज करते हुए भगवान ने उसको धात्री का पोजीशन दे दिया, और ये क्या सोच रहे, एनिमी है ना. दीदी के हिरण्यकशिपु हिरण्याक्ष बेटे थे, हैं? वो अत्याचार कर रहे थे या उनके ऊपर अत्याचार हुआ, हैं? अरे पूरी दुनिया के ऊपर तांडव कर रहे हैं, लेकिन मेरे बेटे हैं ना. तो दीदी was pious enough to feel that Vishnu is not the wrong fellow, but Vishnu took side of इंद्रा एंड द पार्टी. इन लोगों को मारने के लिए मेरे को एक बेटा चाहिए. तो इंद्रा को लगा, अरे ये बेटा पैदा कर, अभी वो मरुत्स है, मरुत्स, अभी इनको मारना चाहिए क्योंकि वो मेरे दुश्मन है, और वो भक्ति कर रहे हैं और उनकी सेवा करने लगे. क्यों? दुश्मन को मारने के लिए. एंड वो उसको मारने चले तो पहले 7 हो गए, 7 के 7 और तो 49 हो गए. एंड वो बोले हम तो आप ही के दास हैं. बोले ये तो गड़बड़ हो गई ना. तो बाहर निकल के आ गए सब लोग, और सब इंद्र के ही सेवा में लग गए. कैन यू इमेजिन who's enemy and who's friend? God, it's just a mess actually, right? How people can divide into friend and enemy. Oh, see, Kamsa को ये, how these fellows Putana and Jarasandh and क्या कौन कौन है ये सारे जो आए थे, त्रेणावरात, ये सब. So Kamsa actually defeated all of them. He defeated it. His power was so much. So गर्ग संहिता वगैरह में आता है वो. तो पूतना को क्या बहन बना लिया, बाकी सब उसके दास बन गए, और जरासंध ने उनको समधी बना लिया. अब कौन है, मतलब चोर चोर के साथ समझौता कर लिया ना, साथ में करेंगे चोरी, है ना. दिस इज वर्ल्ड एक्चुअली, yeah. Like now I am hearing of one case. One devotee has done money ka ghapla. And one of his subordinates is revealing that problem to higher authorities in ISKCON. They think he is my enemy. Actually, he is the best friend. All other fellows are foolish fellows who are followers of his. They don't know what is he going through. He is going in the adharmic path, and only one soul has got some brain to save him from the adharmic path. Although he is his follower, but he is going to create a disrepute for him, ना. उसका पोस्ट जा सकता है. They think कि इसको अभी बाहर निकालो, ना. It's very very dirty world actually. We have to be very careful. We don't get into that trap. We should live for principles. We should die for principles. We should know, if I walk the path of सत्यमेव जयते, बोलते बाहर के लिए नहीं, ISKCON में भी चल रही है, live for the principles. If we stand by the principles, even if we get some difficult situation, no problem. Krishna is going to see us. Who was given more reward, Indra or Prithu? Prithu Maharaj. Who was given more material reward? Indra. Prithukula said, Bhagwan क्या है? Naughtiness उन्होंने किया. He took different sannyas vesh. He is trying to steal the horse. And you are telling me, उसको बोलो. हाँ? लेकिन अगर ऐसा होता ना तो फिर भगवान अपना माथा फोड़ लेते. भगवान बोलते ये भी छोटा बच्चा ही निकला. जैसे see when there is a big elder brother, younger brother is asking for toy and bigger brother then what the mother says, बड़े बेटे को बोलती है इसको टॉय दे दो. अगर बड़ा बच्चा इसको क्यों नहीं बोले, उसको पहले ही एक टॉय मिला है, हाँ? ये टॉय मेरा वाला है, इसको भी लेना चाहता है, नहीं दे दे इसको ना. क्यों बोलती है वो बड़ा है समझ जाएगा. अभी वो भी झगड़ा करने लगे तो माँ बोलेगी ये दोनों ही छोटे बच्चे ही है ना. ठीक, अगर वो छोटा बच्चा होता है एक, अगर इफ ही थिंक्स इज इनजस्टिस तो वो क्या करेगा ना, ये ले दौड़ है ना, वो जो टॉय लेके ना उसके सर पे मारेगा बच्चे के. ठीक है टॉय चाहिए ना ये ले, तो क्या होगा छोटा बच्चा और रोने लगेगा. यू गेटिंग ना, बिकॉज ही इज थिंकिंग इट इज इनजस्टिस फ्रॉम मदर. बट पृथु महाराज वाज अ सोबर चाइल्ड ऑफ द लॉर्ड. ही कुड टेक इट इन द राइट स्पिरिट. So we should be the sober children of Krishna, where we understand that Lord's will should be fulfilled, not that we are after anything of this world. Otherwise, Dhruv Maharaj की तरह we will have to lament, huh? Because भगवान खुश नहीं होंगे हमसे. हरि बोल. अभी मैं तात्पर्य में जाता रहूंगा, अपने तात्पर्य देता रहूंगा. चलो, it is very difficult. Okay, this one will read. मयैतत् प्रार्थितं व्यर्थं चिकित्सेव गतायुषि प्रसाद्य जगत् आत्मानं तपसा दुष्प्रसादनं भवच्छिद्दम् अयाचेहं भवं भाग्य विवर्जितः.
It is very difficult to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in my case, although I have satisfied the super soul of the whole universe, I have prayed only for the useless things. My activities were exactly like a treatment given to a person who is already dead. Just see how unfortunate I am. For in spite of meeting the Supreme Lord who can cut out one's link with the birth and death, I have prayed for the same conditions again. Sometimes it so happens that the devotee engaged in a loving service of the Lord desires some material benefit in exchange of this service. This is not the proper way to discharge devotional service. Out of ignorance, of course, sometimes a devotee does so, but Dhruva Maharaj regrets his personal behavior in this connection.
तो भगवान तो जन्म मृत्यु का चक्कर काट सकते थे, लेकिन मैं तो यहीं पे फंसा रह गया. क्या चीज के लिए प्रार्थना की? सो earlier also he prayed that I did not properly take the message of the Lord, message of Narad Muni. I think that will also come ahead something. Next one, is it?
In this, because of my...
Good. Okay, this is a different one. So in Devotee section, after she has got the child also from Kardama Muni, one place she says that I have been solidly cheated by the illusory energy of the Lord. Though I got a great soul as my husband, I only looked for material pleasures from him. So actually one should know, one should do devotional service, one should worship the great souls for transcendental cause. For a transcendental, so we need, I'll explain to you, I'll first make the statement. We should do devotional service under transcendental personalities for a transcendental cause, using the transcendental process based on transcendental knowledge. So to put it in a very simple way, we need great souls and Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan clear. Transcendental knowledge is Sambandha Gyan. And we should do transcendental process. We should only do Shuddha Bhakti. Nothing short of that. And then we should look for transcendental goal. For what? For only Preeti to the Lord. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to this Tattvavadis in Udupi, so he asked, what is the Abhideya and what is the Prayojan? So the Tattvadi Acharya said that Varnashram is the means and Vaikuntha is the goal. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no. Shravanam Kirtanam is the means and Krishna Prem is the goal. So if anyone who is doing Shravanam Kirtanam, even if he is not in Varnashram, he can go ahead. That means he is not originally in Varnashram. He can go ahead by Shravanam Kirtanam. Then further he says, Preeti is the goal. Krishna Preeti, not Vaikuntha. And he proves it. What is that? Vinamat Sevanam Jana? Salokya Sarishti Samipyam. And how does this begin? Diyamanam na grinanti vinamat sevaram. So all the 5 muktis he does not want if I cannot get seva to the Lord. That means he is not looking for mukti, he is looking for seva. So Vaikuntha is not the goal. He proved it from Bhagavatam. So for the devotee of the Lord, he should walk the path of pure devotional service with the goal of Preeti. And this all thing he should do under great souls. So Narad Muni he had got, Dhruva had got, but he got solidly cheated. He was asking for broken piece of glass in Bhava kingdom and all. And actually Narad Muni gave him instruction also that iske liye kyun abhi ro rahe ho? Again, he didn't hear it, and that is one of his lamentation. Okay. So, yeah, one time one devotee asked Srila Radhanath Maharaj, what if we have something material to ask the Lord? Sometimes as Grihasthas we feel to ask for a material thing. Can we ask to the Lord? Because she was asking honestly. So Maharaj said, yes, if you have very strong feelings towards it, you may ask. But we should be humble about it. We should feel that I am not on the same standard of pure devotion service. At least we should be humble. ऐसा नहीं कि ये भी justified है. Because we have to accept, just like here, Dhruv Maharaj is seeing his folly. At least we should accept our folly. See, Dhruv Maharaj is already pure devotee. Now he is also still seeing folly. Someone who is not pure devotee and he is asking for material thing, at that time he knows what is the goal. And he should remain humble about, this is my fallen position. Swarajyam yachato maudyan mano me bhikshato bata Ishwarat Sheena Punyena Fali Karana Ivadana.
Because of my state of complete foolishness and paucity of pious activities, although the Lord offered me his personal service, I wanted material name, fame, and prosperity. My case is just like that of the poor man who, when he satisfied a great emperor who wanted to give him anything he might ask, out of ignorance asked only a few broken grains of husk rice.
He satisfied a great emperor and he asked for broken grains of husk rice. Fali Karan Iva Adana. Yeah.
In this verse, the word Swarajyam, which means complete independence, is very significant. A conditioned soul does not know what complete independence is. Complete independence means situation in one's own constitutional position. The real independence of a living entity, who is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is to remain always dependent on the Supreme Lord, just like a child who plays in complete independence, guided by his parents who watch over him. The independence of the conditioned soul does not mean to fight with the obstacles offered by Maya, but to surrender to Krishna. In the material world, everyone is trying to become completely independent simply by fighting against the obstacles offered by Maya. This is called struggle for existence. Real independence is to be reinstated in the service of the Lord. Anyone who goes to the Vaikuntha planets or Golok Vrindavan planet is freely offering his service to the Lord. That is complete independence. Just contrary to this is material law overlordship, which we wrongly take to be independence. Many great political leaders have tried to establish independence, but due to such so-called independence, the people's dependence has only increased. The living entity cannot be happy trying to be independent in the material world. One has to surrender, therefore, unto the lotus feet of the Lord and engage in his original eternal service. The conclusion is that anyone who is engaged in the loving service of the Lord should never ask for material prosperity from the Lord. The awarding of material prosperity simply depends on the stringent rules and regulations of the external energy. Pure devotees ask the Lord only for the privilege of serving Him. This is our real independence. If we want anything else, it is a sign of misfortune.
Yeah. So Prahlad Maharaj also said, na, one should not be a manik. So real Swarajya, what is real independence? हम इंडिपेंडेंस डे पे ज़्यादातर एक टॉपिक करते हैं, रियल इंडिपेंडेंस. So real independence is to declare our dependence on God. Otherwise, we are dependent on Maya then. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes something good here. Can you read? Oh, you are not saying.
Swarajyam means he who is glorious in himself with bhakti, or he who possesses his own king, he who is a servant. The Lord gives the position of service, Swarajyam, to his devotee. What pride I have, asking for material things. It is just like a poor man having lost his intelligence, begging some grains of rice from the emperor. However, being clever and very generous, the king gives more wealth than one can imagine to that person. Similarly, the Lord gave me his own abode to live in. Oh, I am the height of foolishness. What unlimited mercy and generosity of the Lord. Dhruva then became completely paralyzed in astonishment for a moment.
Yeah. So Lord gave me his own abode to live in. Although I asked for material thing, he gave me that also, and he has given me his own abode also. Oh, I am the height of foolishness. What unlimited mercy and generosity of the Lord. That means I didn't ask for all that, what he has given me actually. See, I asked for a kingdom greater than great grandfather. वैसा है ही नहीं कोई. No? He gave me his own abode. No? Like Lord Ram, when he gave shelter to Vibhishan. So he said, today if Ravana also comes, I'll give him also shelter. You know? And then he says that, Lanka. So then when Ravana comes, what will you give him? What did he say? And Bharat, Saket Dham. So Lord is extremely kind and he does not want anything in this creation actually. Such a personality. So that's what Dhruva is meditating. Lord gave me his own abode to live in. I am height of foolishness and he is unlimited in his mercy and generosity. So he's now completely paralyzed in astonishment. ऐसा कैसे भगवान है? You know? Like Kambal Dayalum, you know? Like that. Okay, we go ahead. Right. So independence, yeah. So this Swarajya, so freedom fighter, you know the pastime of Bhaktivedanta Thakur that saying, Krishna cannot wait for anything. And Prabhupada also got transformed from apparent Gandhian to Gaudiya mission, you know. So real freedom fight. That's why you cannot wait. All the struggle for existence, one way or the other. British will go, some other thing will come, you know. And that has happened only. We in 1947, we independently declared our independence on the West. No? You know? We were independent and we said, now we will follow West. Nicely. We will follow the culture also. First, we were only subordinate in the body. Now we give a head or heart also. No? Earlier, the head and heart was with Vedas. Then head and heart also went there. Maitri Uvacha Naivai Mukundasya Padarabindayo Rajojushastat Bhavadrisha Jana Vanchanti Tadda Samriter Yadrichaya Labda Mana Samriddhaya. Yeah.
The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, persons like you who are pure devotees of lotus feet of Mukunda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can offer liberation, and who are always attached to the honey of his lotus feet, are always satisfied in serving at the lotus feet of the Lord. In any condition of life, such persons remain satisfied, and thus they never ask the Lord for material prosperity.
That verse is there, na? Krishna pada padma gandha jai jana pai Brahma loka साधि सुख तार नहीं भाई ब्रह्मा लोक आदि सुख कुछ भी सुख दे दो उनको कुछ नहीं
In
उनको
Bhagavad Gita, the
रस
Lord
चढ़ता ही नहीं वो देर like Mahaprakash Leela Lord said what do you want ask anything you want the Trilokpati you want see Sridhar Golavecha is selling banana leaves and Lord is ready to give him Trilokpati he is ready to give him Vaikuntha planet he is ready to give him all the Ashtasiddhis all the Siddhis says Lord don't tempt me no? Just give me the opportunity to have the pastime of you coming in, fighting with me on banana leaves. So the sweetness of dealing with the Lord is so high that all these things become completely fika. No? Mukunda mudna pranipatti yache bhavantamekantamiyantamartam avismititva charnar vinde bhave bhave me subhavat pasadat नाहं वन्दे तव चरण द्वन्द्वमद्वन्द्वहेतो कुम्भीपाकं गुरुमपि हरे नारकं नापनेतुं रम्या रामा मृदुतनुलता नन्दनेनापि रन्तुं भावे भावे हृदय भवने भावयेयं भवन्तम्. These verses of Mukunda Mala Stotra are many, actually all one after another. It's like super nectar flowing. बोलने में आनंद आता है ना अगर उस प्लेटफॉर्म पे होंगे तो कितना आनंद आएगा हम तो प्लेटफॉर्म पे नहीं है फिर भी आनंद आता है ना बोलते बोलते इतना आनंद लगता है ना कविता का आनंद नहीं बोल रहा मतलब का आनंद अर्थ का आनंद बोल रहा हाँ रीड
Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that He is the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor of everything and anything within this creation, and the supreme friend of everyone. When one knows these things perfectly, he is always satisfied. The pure devotee never hankers after any kind of material prosperity.
Yeah, so Sambandha Gyan is very important for us. More we become clear with that he is the proprietor, controller, enjoyer, then we will not be hankering for anything of this world actually. So many, many great souls actually always emphasize Sambandha Gyan and Prabhupada's books are full of Sambandha Gyan. And the Sambandha Gyan will become completely clear in the heart. It is revealed truth in the heart. Then we cannot enjoy the material world because we know this is actually Lord's property. And we are also Lord's property. I'm not the enjoyer only. No, not like, okay, see, I'll tell you, like sex desire if we take. So at one stage, we have to tell the thing that how sex life is going to cause you bondage, so you don't enjoy, Another is sex life itself is a very dirty act, because the urine parts are there, all that. So the kya cheez dekh raha ho, ganda ho gaya hai, But then imagine in heavenly planets, all that dirt does not exist, Then can you enjoy? No, sex desire itself is dirty, Sex desire itself is dirty, Then actually, why sex desire is dirty? It is not letting me express my servitude to the Lord. That is what is actually the main. It is not that I am enjoying sex desire. That is the I've forgotten Krishna. I'm not serving my Lord. That is the pain of the living entity. He is not suffering because of sex desire. He is suffering because he has forgotten Krishna. And then sex desire is just next door neighbor. As I said yesterday, when one rebels against Krishna, then the living entity is attracted to the dirtiest part of the body of the opposite sex. So first he may tell, okay, gandi jagah hai, chodo. So he may have a jnani kind of renunciation. And he may also see sex desire as a jnani idea also, okay, this is the cause of bondage and all that. But when one sees that this is not giving me the shelter of Krishna, I want to serve Krishna. What am I doing? That is the pain of the devotee. I'm offering an impure service to the Lord. This desire is not letting me purely offer. Vishuddha bhavena. I want to offer Vishuddha bhavans. But बीच में ये क्या आ रहा है, I'm giving sweet rice mixed with sand particles. So that means he is no more desiring No hankering for this now. He's seeing the contaminations only with a sense of, I'm not offering pure service to Krishna. So it is an international society for Krishna, not Anartha consciousness. So our offering has become contaminated. Okay, read.
Karmis, however, the karmis, however, or gyanis or yogis endeavor always for their own personal happiness.
Bhukti mukti siddhi gami sakala shanta. Krishna bhakta nishkama ataiva shanta.
The devotee, however, is not interested in such activities. He does not want mystic powers or liberation or material prosperity. He is satisfied in any condition of life as long as he is constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. The Lord's feet are compared to the lotus, wherein there is saffron dust. A devotee is always engaged in drinking the honey from the lotus feet of the Lord. Unless one is freed from all material desires, he cannot actually taste the honey from the Lord's lotus feet. One has to discharge his devotional duties without being disturbed by the coming and going of material circumstances. The desirelessness for material prosperity is called nishkama.
So Prabhu, this is the loss we should see. That मैं निष्काम नहीं बनाऊं, अभी डिस्टर्बेंस हो रहा है मुझे, ये मेरे साथ ऐसा कैसे हुआ वैसे कैसे हुआ, then what I will not be able to taste? The honey at the lotus feet of the Lord. That is what I wanted. So कब मैं उसको चखूंगा? So the devotee who has become at least attached to that goal, then he should not become caught up in the daily ups and downs and the अत्याचार किया गया है. तिरस्कृता विप्लप्ता शप्ता शिप्ता हतापि तस नास्ति तत् प्रतिकुर्वन्ति प्रभुवोऽपि स. So one is detached. So what is this taste? What is this saffron dust particle? Huh? Devotees. Saffron devotees. Huh? Okay, I'll recite one shloka which is very... Where do we get this saffron dust particle? Yeah. Sauttama shloka mahanmukhachyuto bhavat padamboja sudha kananila smitim punar vismita tattva vatmanam yoginam no vidaratyatal alamvarai. So उत्तम श्लोक का जो गुणगान है, महान मुखच्युतो, जो भगवान जो भक्तों के मुख से निकलता है, भगवत पदाम भोज सुधा कनालिला. भगवान के भक्त कहाँ रहते हैं? एट द लोटस फीट ऑफ द लॉर्ड. और जब वो भगवान की कथा गाते हैं तो क्या होता है? जो सुधा इज द सैफरन डस्ट पार्टिकल. सुधा कर्ण वो कहाँ? पदाम भोज, भगवान के चरण कमलों से. भगवत मतलब आपके पदाम भोज, तो आपके चरण कमल के जो सैफरन डस्ट पार्टिकल्स है वो गिरते हैं. इसलिए जब गुरुजन बोलते हैं तो कहाँ बैठना चाहिए? आगे बैठना चाहिए. गिरेगा तो सबसे पहले ज्यादा आगे ही गिरेगा ना, दूर तक नहीं गिरेगा ना. The goal of my point is that we should be very hungry. We want that lolium. We want to just get that saffron. Because once that comes, what happens? Smritim punar vismit tattva vartmanam. अरे भूल गया था मैं कि what is my original position of being Krishna's servant. Immediately we get awakened to it. So we should be to the degree we are hankering for that while sitting in the lecture, not hankering for some points and all that, then only we will get that. We are wanting something else, we will be solidly cheated. Many of the great souls speak very simple points actually. They don't speak very hi-fi things. But they are filled with feelings of love for the Lord, separation from the Lord. एक बार मैं परम पूज्य लोकनाथ महाराज का सुन रहा था. वो एक डॉक्टर के पास गया, उनका नाम शायद वो डिवोटी हैं, अजीत गोविंद को, अजीत कृष्ण को. उनको बोले कि मेरे को बीमारी है, हमें नींद नहीं आ रही है, भगवान के सपने आ रहे हैं. है ना, ये बीमारी है, तो डॉक्टर बोल रहे थे ये बीमारी तो हमें भी हो जाए तो अच्छा है। ऐसी बीमारी हो तो अच्छा है। हाँ? तो हमारे को भक्ति चाहिए। ये लोगों के पास जो भक्ति का धन है उसके भीख मांग रहे हैं हम, है ना। तो स्मृति स्मृति पुनर्, भगवान को याद करने का उपदेश तो सबको पता है, अंते नारायण स्मृति, ऑलवेज लव, रिमेम्बर कृष्णा नेवर, होता ही नहीं है ना। नाम जब करते समय ही नहीं भगवान याद आते तो क्या बाकी टाइम बोल देंगे, उसी समय सारा दिमाग घूम रहा होता है। तो ये जो भगवान का स्मरण है वो आसान नहीं है। एक बार परम पूज्य राधानाथ महाराज को एक प्रॉब्लम हुआ था बॉडी में, तो ही वॉज इन डिलीरियम। डिलीरियम समझते हैं, जैसे व्यक्ति होश में नहीं रहता है, मतलब कुछ भी बोलता है, बड़बड़ बड़बड़ करता है, जो बोल रहा है उसके कंट्रोल में नहीं है। तो उस समय वो कृष्ण कथा बोल रहे थे, है ना। सो दैट टाइम व्हाट गोज ऑन इज व्हाट इज ओनली इन सबकॉन्शियस माइंड, मतलब इफ लस्ट इज गोइंग ऑन दैट विल कम आउट। अभी you getting now? So someone who is intoxicated in Krishna, Krishna katha is coming out, you know. Delirium में कृष्ण कथा चल रही है। So ये लोगों क्या, हम भिखारी हैं ना, हम इन सबके सामने। इनको कृष्णा से प्रेम हो गया है, इनको कृष्णा के अलावा कुछ चढ़ता ही नहीं है। तो इन लोगों के मुखारविंद से सुनते सुनते भगवान से आसक्ति होगा हमको। वी शुड फील अ बेगर बिफोर दीज पर्सनैलिटीज। हामी तो कंगाल कृष्णा कृष्णा बोली, धाई तब पाछे पाछे। You should know, I don't want anything from you, Master. If the Master gives us post positions, if he gives us praise before the public, that is Sakapata Kripa. If he gives us scolding which finishes the Ahankar, that is Nishkapata Kripa. You know? If he does not give us any post position but gives us Krishna Bhakti, that is Nishkapata Kripa. Krishner Matirastu. May you remember Krishna. बस हो गया, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए। वी गेट एवरीथिंग एंड फॉरगेट एवरीथिंग एट इज लोटस फीट। सिर्फ भगवान के चरण कमलों की विरज मिल जाए हमको बस। इन भक्तों को जो मिल गए, ये भंडार लेके बैठे हुए हैं ये लोग, उसमें गोते लगाते रहते ये लोग हैं। ऑल दीज ग्रेट सोल्स, राधा गोविंद महाराज ये सब लोग, उसमें गोते लगा लगा के अच्छा स्विमिंग कर रहे हैं। तो बोल रहे हैं आप पूरा उसी में रंगे हुए हैं, थोड़ा हमारे ऊपर भी डाल दीजिए। यस प्रभु।
A living entity must have desires. That is the symptom of the life. When there is a recommendation to become desireless, it is to be understood that this means that we should not desire anything for our sense gratification.
Yeah, so Nishkam does not mean that no desire, but no sense gratification. For a devotee?
For a devotee, this state of mind nishpriha is the right position. Actually, every one of us already has an arrangement for our standard of material comforts. A devotee should always remain satisfied with the standard of comforts offered by the Lord.
तेन त्यक्तेन भुंजिता, जितना आपके कोटा में लिखा है उतना ही भोग कर सकते हो।
This saves time for executing Krishna consciousness.
अरे वाह, क्या गोल्डन स्टेटमेंट है। दिस सेव्स टाइम
For
फॉर एग्जीक्यूटिंग
executing Krishna consciousness.
कृष्ण। एक है ना विट्ठल जी के बारे में बोलते कि ठला है ना, स्टे व्हाट यू गॉट, यू नो। कुछ है तुकाराम महाराज का अभंग है उसमें। So remain satisfied with the standards, the comforts offered by the Lord. भगवान इतना दिया तो इतना में सही, इतना तो है। तो ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में तो और भी रहना चाहिए। Actually, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj was saying that for grihasthas, they have an expanded life with family, job and all. They may sometimes have some situations where they may have to take some, steps which apparently step outside pure devotion service also. But for a brahmachari, there is no reason. For brahmachari ashram, pure devotion service is the standard. There is no reason why he should step down from pure devotion service, brahmachari, because his material life is already bound up. Yeah. Kirtana. We should do preaching as a regulated duty towards the spiritual master. And we should do it with full heart. Not that we say, बस थोड़ा सा करके आ जाएंगे. Some devotees give lecture. As soon as lecture is over, they go into the inside room and start reading. And the boys are waiting कि प्रसाद हम के टाइम पे बात करेंगे preacher के साथ. Actually, preaching requires some selflessness. But when we do preaching with the heart of a sadhaka, we should know that I am not the preacher. I am only sharing the shelter that I have received. For that, I have to also spend time receiving shelter, no? Which is of the great souls, of Bhagavatam, of holy name. So there has to be quality time for sadhana also. And the balance is somewhat dynamic. Sometimes we can do more sadhana, sometimes we don't have all the time for sadhana. No? Say you are doing a youth camp, that day you can do some basic sadhana. You may not be able to do some ecstatic sadhana. And like now you are sitting here, you're doing more sadhana than regular days. So that is dynamic balance. Okay? Not just mood of the superior, but have your own dynamic balance also. Like imagine one day you went late night, second day also you went late night, third day also you went late night. Then by seventh day you will be out. The body will be flat. So you will balance now. After 1-2 days of late night, you will try to sleep a little early. Right? Similarly, if sadhana has been little down, so take out time for sadhana. See, don't put everything on superior. Mood is superior. Superior, imagine superior says, actually now Radhashyambu never asked me that whether you're doing your sadhana or not. But should I say mood is, that means he wants me to preach only? If I fall down also, he wants me only. Mood is this. It is implicit. He is not thinking I'll do preaching at the cost of my basic standing in devotion service. No? मर गया बेचारा, शहीद हो गया नो. इसको वीर गति को प्राप्त हुआ है नो. अमेरिका गया था, वहां पे एक माया माया की गोद में सो गया वो जाके नो. वीर गति को प्राप्त हुआ, एक बच्चा शहीद हो गया, उसके लिए भी परमवीर चक्र देते हैं इसको. अरे if you can go on in your life, then you get some people out. कबड्डी 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 बोलते बोलते आउट मत हो जाओ भाई. दो को आउट करके वापिस आओ, है ना. तो कबड्डी बोलते रहना पड़ेगा. कबड्डी मतलब कृष्णा का नाम. आकर्ण्यात्म, अरे कहाँ टाइम.
वो अभंग मिल
आकर्ण्यात्मा जम आयांतम संपरित्ये यथागतम राजा न शब्ददे भद्रम अभद्रस्य कुतो मम.
When King Uttanapada heard that his son Dhruva was coming back home, as if coming back to life after death, he could not put his faith in this message, for he was doubtful of how it could happen. He considered himself the most wretched, and therefore he thought that it was not possible for him to attain such a good fortune.
So king thought that actually the son would have died only. So he did not have faith in the messenger. But later he could put faith because he had faith in it will come. He had faith in Narad Muni. Yeah. Read this.
Although he could not believe the words of the messenger, he had full faith in the word of great sage Narada. Thus he was greatly overwhelmed by the news, and he immediately offered the messenger a highly valuable necklace in great satisfaction.
क्या संदेश लाए हो. So his faith in Narad Muni was high.
Then King Uttanpad, being very eager to see the face of his lost son, mounted a chariot drawn by excellent horses and bedecked with golden filigree, taking with him many learned brahmanas, all the elderly personalities of his family, his officers, his ministers, and his immediate friends. He immediately left the city. As he proceeded in this parade, there was auspicious sounds of conch shells, kettle drums, flutes, and the chanting of Vedic mantras to indicate all good fortune.
कहाँ वो गोद में भी नहीं बैठ पा रहा था, कहाँ पूरा दुनिया उनको अभी ग्रीट करने आ रहा है, आइए आइए आइए. Everyone is coming. Okay, we'll give a pause. It's 12:31, 12:45. We'll return. So now comes how they receive him. So I think this is not very long wounded. It is not many purports and not much of depth to the discussion. So we will close in half an hour to 45 minutes. Then we have next chapter, Yaksha.
तो जो अभंग
मिल गया? क्या नाम है? क्या है?
ठेविले अनंते तैसी चिरावे चित्ती असोध्यावे समाधान विठ्ठल विठ्ठल म्हणत राहावे सर्व सुखी मनावे means whatever ठेविले अनंते तैसेच राहावे whatever the infinite God has kept for us accept it as it is चित्ते असोध्यावे समाधान keep your mind peaceful and satisfied विठ्ठल विठ्ठल म्हणत राहावे continue remembering God Vitthal and chanting his name सर्व सुखी मानावे see everything as ultimately good and blessed in this only
क्या AI ने बताया क्या?
मतलब वो कंफर्म किया उधर है करके
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाए, ठीक है, तुकाराम महाराज की जाए, AI प्रभु की जाए. चलो हरि बोल. So 12:32 है. राम हरे Rama Hare Hare. So we are on verse number. कौन से पदे? Hmm. 41. सुनिधि सुरुचिश्च चास्य महिषौरुक्मभूषिते आरुह्य शिबिकां सार्धम् उत्तमेनाभिजग्मतु.
Both the queens of King Uttanpad, namely Suniti and Surichi, along with his sister son, his other son, Uttam, appeared in the procession. The queens were seated on the palanquin. Sorry.
Yeah. The queens were seated on palanquin. Okay. Yeah, read the.
He could understand the great fortune of his wife Suniti and the great misfortune of Queen Suruchi. For these facts were open in the palace. But still, when the news reached the palace that Dhruva Maharaj was returning his mother, Suniti, out of her great compassion and due to being the mother of the great Vaishnava, did not hesitate to take other wife, Suruchi, and her son, Uttam, on the same palanquin. That was the greatness of Queen Suniti, the mother of great Vaishnava Dhruva Maharaj.
See, after Narad Muni has declared, that what is the case of Dhruva, now Dhruva becomes a hero. Whole world knows. Jaga, see, when Narad Muni is talking to Uttanpad, some other ministers, everyone must be hearing, अच्छा ऐसा है क्या, ध्रुव महाराज बहुत फेमस हो गए, तिलोक में उनका यश फैल गया है, अभी ये हो गया, सब फैल गया होगा. देन व्हाट, नारद मुनि का बात है तो अब सुनीति महान हो गई. तो नाउ सुरुचि is not the best. So now it can be the case that Suniti से देखो कौन है हम, अभी समझ आया क्या? हमारे बारे में बोल रही थी, लेकिन what her heart is only of love, Vaishnava heart. So she never enviously thought for Surji. They both took. So Vishnu Chakravarti writes a very beautiful commentary. Read. छोटा हो गया बहुत ज़्यादा.
The two queens, along with the child Uttam, got in palanquin. From the day that Dhruva left the palace, the king felt remorse and comforted by Narada. He showed favor to Dhruva's mother after that and did not show favor to Uttama's mother. Suniti, endowed with the best behavior, had Suruchi and her son ride in her palanquin. That is shown here.
So now she is being favored and she is not being favored. Ulta ho gaya hai, no? But so see, someone say, suppose our superior is favoring us apparently, It is not favoring, but he likes us more. But see from Suniti, the way she dealt without a... see, Suruchi, when she was being favored, versus when Suniti, she is being favored. You know? So if our superiors love us a lot, give us a lot of mercy, how should be our behavior towards others who may not have that kind of a mercy? So it's not like we show our superiority, rather we should try to show equality and try to give love. That is Suniti's behavior. While Suruchi was taking advantage of that partiality and showing, I am superior, you cannot sit. So more mercy should bring us more graceful dealings rather than pride. If mercy is coming, if someone is showing more mercy to us, we should feel more fortunate and we should feel more blessed. A blessing should bring qualities of the heart, should not should not bring the worst out of us. That means that mercy is very, the real mercy of the Vaishnavas. If we are really getting blessed by superiors, that means we will become more of a Vaishnava. And more Vaishnava means we will have more wonderful qualities to show to the world. Not that we tell, देखो अपने को ज्यादा मर्सी मिला है, कौन ज्यादा भगवान गुरु के पास कौन है ज्यादा, प्रूव हो गया ना, हैंड्स प्रूव्ड. गुरु हमको बुलाते हैं, आपको बुलाया गया. So actually in neophyte communities, Kanishta communities, everyone wants to show how I am very close to the Guru. They want to prove somehow their greatness by closeness to Guru. That is Kanishta program actually. Why we have to prove our closeness to Guru? Actually, someone who is very close to Guru has been blessed by the Vaishnava qualities. And that will make him not feel like saying that I am very close to Guru. He will like to share qualities. He will like to share he will tell, you take it, Prabhu. You go. You know? He like to push it for others. Not that, like Jananivas Prabhu, he got the Panchatattva deities made. He was all the time with the Stapatis. And after the Stapatis got everyone wanted to do Abhishek on that day. And he was just standing on the side and crying tears of ecstasy, thinking that finally the Lord has come and all the devotees are worshipping. That time he doesn't know, hum laya kaun hai ye batao, no? From the beginning to end, who is involved? Jananivas Prabhu. But where is he? Out of picture. So those who are actually very advanced devotees, they don't want to be the limelight. They don't want... Limelight may sometimes come to them as a byproduct. But their heart is longing to just express devotion. So actually we have to rise our communities also above Kanishta ideas actually. Wherever some Kanishta ideas are going on, post holder is only respected. Post holder should be respected, but someone who is very advanced in devotion should be respected. Like one time I was talking to one cleaning man here. तो मैंने बोला आप बहुत अच्छे से सेवा करते हैं. नहीं, हमारे को राधा रानी की सेवा करने का मौका दिया आप लोगों ने, है ना. क्लीनिंग मैन वाज सेइंग लाइक दैट. मैंने बोला कभी कभी ब्रह्मचारी को क्लीनिंग देंगे तो बोले हम, है ना, हमारे को सेवा दे दिया है इन्होंने, ऐसे गाली देता है ना. मैंने बोला इससे अच्छा तो एम्प्लॉय बन जाओ ना. अगर एम्प्लॉय का कॉन्शियसनेस ज़्यादा अच्छा है, कॉन्शियसनेस इज दी थिंग दैट कृष्ण इज टेस्टिंग. ही सिंह राधा रानी ने सेवा का मौका दिया है ना, सफाई कर रहा है वो, है ना. we say na in Vaikuntha, even the Lakshmis are sweeping to get the mercy of the Lord. So consciousness matters a lot. So he could have been, क्या करे, हम तो जमादार हैं, हम तो, है ना. He can be thinking himself as जमादार only, What is he thinking? I am getting to serve the Vaishnavas. I am serving Radharani. So consciousness makes where we are. He is in Vaikuntha and Brahmachari may be in Kunta only. So we have to decide what consciousness we want to serve with. So Suniti was never in the ugly consciousness. When she was despised, when she was insulted, she did not feel ill towards. Now when she is being praised, when she is being greatly supported and favored, she still does not have any. She has a heart of a Vaishnavi. So heart should be filled with qualities. That is the, we should be hankering for qualities of heart, not क्या, what we'll do by getting one big position. चिता तो सबकी जलने वाली है, उसके बाद कहाँ लेके जाएंगे कि किधर बैठे थे, ऊपर बैठे थे या नीचे बैठे थे, सबको चिता में ही जलने वाला है. शरीर ऊपर नहीं नीचे नहीं, चिता ही जलने वाली है सबकी. Yeah, it's a very pathetic situation how people hanker for some temporary things of this creation actually. Even within ISKCON, I can tell you, temporary things are something. People still get stuck. अभिषेक चल रहा है, अरे हमें भी अभिषेक करने का है, एंड देन करते करते फोटो खींचो, फोटो फोटो खींचो, है ना. अरे भगवान का अभिषेक करे, कौन हीरो कौन है, आप हैं या भगवान है? आप भगवान का अभिषेक करते, भगवान को देखिए, भगवान की सेवा करिए, आप फोटो खिंचवाने में लगे हैं ना. So, क्या, I feel like allergic, you know.
This limelight system is, for example, I serve as head pujari. So if I doesn't come in a limelight, for example, so naturally there is a competition between the mainly festival time. They want to come in limelight. So just to control that, I have to come in limelight. So sometimes services is like that.
No, I told, sometimes by the situation we may be put in limelight. That is a different thing. But the goal is not limelight. Goal is to serve. Whatever it takes to serve, we'll do it. Radhanath Maharaj gave one lecture on responsibility. Very beautiful lecture it is. It clarifies a lot of intentions of heart. So responsibility lecture was limelight. So to be in the light is like lime. खट्टा है, कड़वा है, खट्टा होता है ना, लाइम क्या होता है, खट्टा होता है ना. So no one should like to be in the light. It is limelight. Why is it not called sweet light or sugar light? It's called limelight. Maharaj इस word को पकड़ रहे थे. So if the hankering is not there, then you do the needful and move on. Like how much time you would like to sit in the toilet? Finish the business and move out. थोड़ी निहारते हो उसको कि कितना अच्छा पास किया मैंने, है ना. Move out, So limelight is just do the needful and move on. And when it's stuck there, that means actually brahmachari life, people give too much respect to us. They don't know our position. They think us as sannyasi only. So brahmachari life, ISKCON management, in traditional life cooks up this brain, and heart also. So one has to be very careful that I will do it only for the master's pleasure. Actually, we cannot be free from upadhis, free from this pujala pratishtha, unless we are attached to some spiritual thing more. If we are attached to great souls, they are saying Shukrera Vrishta, मैं विष्टा खा रहा हूँ. So we should become attached to them and then feel from their vision what should be the things. Okay. Okay, next one. Read.
Upon seeing Dhruva's Maharaj approaching the neighboring small forest, King Uttanpad with a great haste got down from his chariot. He had been very anxious for a long time to see his son Dhruva, and therefore with a great love and affection he went forward to embrace his long lost boy. Breathing very heavily, the king embraced him with both arms. But Dhruva Maharaj was not the same as before. He was completely sanctified by the spiritual advancement due to having been touched by the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Now, although he is affectionate to his father, but he has already lost his heart to Krishna. Now he does not need all that emotional thing कि पापा उठाएंगे नहीं मेरे को तो क्या होगा, He has no hankering for all that. He is simply, actually our emotional needs also become more and more reduced as we become spiritually advanced. Not that मैंने इतना किया, एक बार भी अप्रिशिएशन नहीं मिला मुझे, एक बार भी पैटिंग नहीं दिया, कम से कम एक स्माइल तो दे देते, कम से कम कोई बताए तो गुरु महाराज को कि मैंने किया है ये. All these emotional needs also, it does not remain in the heart. One is completely satisfied in simply serving the Lord. Yeah. So But that does not mean if someone else is doing something, we should not appreciate. Be satisfied with, don't anchor.
Wrong application.
नहीं क्या होता है ना कि whenever you tell a point, you have to tell the other side, otherwise people take it. देखो बोला गया है उधर, कोई अप्रिसिएशन नहीं मिल रहा है, तभी satisfied रहना चाहिए. अरे तुम्हारे लिए बोला गया बेटा, तुम उसके ऊपर मत लगा. So, and another beautiful point His Holiness Radha Maharaj was saying here, that the king embraced. So he was embracing because this body has been touched by the Lord, and he's embracing. I was hearing from His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj that whenever the devotees go for Vittal Darshan, Dindi, so all the villagers, they are waiting when will they return, because those who have they have embraced Vittala, and then they'll come. So by embracing the home, the relative who has gone, they feel that we also got to embrace Vittala. Because everyone from home cannot go, na? Everyone goes, then who will manage the home, the cows, everyone? But they know that they're going to come back and they would have the touch of the Lord. So they're as good as touching the Lord. So like that, Dhruva was also embraced by King Utanba. Okay, read.
Reunion with Dhruva Maharaj fulfilled King Uttanpada's long cherished desire, and for this reason he smelled Dhruva's head again and again and bathed him with torrents of very cold tears.
So Prabhupada writes, when one is
when one cries
okay, read.
in great happiness upon the fulfillment of some desire, the tears coming forth from the eyes are very cold and pleasing, whereas tears in times of distress are very hot.
So you can see sometimes if you are feeling like you are getting tears in chanting, you can check the temperature. If it is hot, it is because you have not slept well or something, or you have got jukam or something. And if it is cold, then maybe some ecstasy going on. But just on a lighter note, I'm saying. No. इतना साइंस नहीं लगाया है भगवान ने, आपके जितना साइंस भगवान ने भी नहीं लगाया. ठीक है. अभी वंदे पितु ओके पादा आशीर्भिश्चाभिमंत्रित ननाम मातरौ शीर्ष्ण सत्कृत सज्जनाग्रणी. So he's sajjan, that's why he'll bow down to both the mothers now, right?
Then Dhruv Maharaj, the foremost of all nobles, first of all offered his obeisances at the feet of his father and was honored by his father with various questions. He then bowed his head at the feet of his two mothers.
Matarau. Rama, Ramau, Ramaha. Like that, no? Matarau. माता का क्या होता है? माता, मातरो कैसे आएगा? मातृ, इसका मातरो वाले. तो है. So the two mothers, both the mothers he bowed down to. So because he's Sajjana Agrani, he's the foremost of the Sajjanas. Yeah, read.
Why Dhruv Maharaj offered his respect not only to his mother but also to his stepmother, due to whose insults he had to leave home? The answer is that after achieving perfection by self-realization and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, Dhruv Maharaj was completely freed from all contamination of material desire. Feelings of insult or honor in this material world are never perceived by a devotee. Lord Chaitanya therefore says that one has to be humbler than the grass, and he recommends more tolerant than the tree to execute devotional service. The pure devotee is the noblest of all, and he has no feelings of animosity towards anyone. Duality due to animosity is a creation of this material world. There is no such thing in the spiritual world, which is the absolute reality.
Recite this shloka. Swasti astu vishwasya khala prasidatam dhayantu bhutani shiva vidbudhiya manasya badram bhajata dadokshaje aveshyatam no matirapi hetuki. स्वस्ति अस्तु, सुअस्ति, स्वस्ति मतलब स्वस्ति वचन बोलते हैं ना, स्वस्ति मीन्स सबका भला हो, स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य, होल विश्व का भला हो, खला प्रसीदता, may the envious also become pacified. One should not envy the envious, one should become compassionate on the envious. That is, this is Prahlad Maharaj praying in 5th canto, and he's offering prayers to Narsingh Dev in the 5th canto. Khala matlab envious, prasidata, wo bhi shant ho. Was Prahlad not praying for Hiranyakashipu? He was praying. And he was envious, but he was not envious of the envious. वो भी शांत हो जाए, इतना परेशान है बेचारे एनवी के कारण. who is troubled? Who is envious? He is only carrying envy. Hiranyakashipu was only troubled. Prahlad was happy because of bhakti. Then what will happen? What should happen? Dhyayantu bhutani shivam mithodhiya. Shivam means auspiciousness. Mitho means for each other. So dhyayantu bhutani. In the dhiya, in the intelligence, one should think of each other's welfare. Dhyayantu bhutani. All the living entities will think of each other's welfare. Manascha badram. Such a mind is very bhadra, auspicious. How will that happen? Bhajatat adhokshaye aveshatam no matirapetake. When the mind becomes absorbed, aveshya, in the bhajan of Lord Adhokshaja. So when we chant the holy name, this should be one of the products. See, there are two qualities which come even in the sadhana bhakti stage. Bhav bhakti stage is the next two, and then the prema bhakti is next two. In the sadhana bhakti stage, what are the two? Kleshagni and Shubhada. In the Shubhada, there are two qualities, or four qualities. What is Shubhada? There are four. Sarva Jagatam Prinanam, Anuraktata, and Sadguna, and Sukhada. So Sarva Jagatam Prinanam and Anuraktata means all living entities fall in love with you and you fall in love with all living entities. And Sadguna means all divine qualities come in you. And Sukhada, it gives a superior happiness which puts down the material happiness. So this should happen even in the sadhana stage, actually. Sadhaka. These are the two beautiful fruits. The same two are being glorified even in the Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam Vedyam vastamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayon moolanam. Shivadam means Shubhada, tapatrayon moolanam means Kleshagni. So these two will happen. So if we are doing bhakti properly, these two should be happening. Kleshagni and Shubhada. We should not expect moksha lagotva krit or sudurlava and Shri Krishna Akarshani and Sandrandana Visheshatma. First, let us work on this Kleshagni. That means Papa should go away. Papa tendency should go away. And what is that? Kutam, Bijam, Phalon, Mukam, all those, that will go away. And the divine qualities should come. Like Dhruv Maharaj is showing all divine qualities. And one should wish well for everyone, actually. Everyone should be, if we are feeling envious, we are feeling very strong emotions, negative emotions, that means bhakti is not growing, some other thing is growing. Weeds are growing now. Weeds are Nishadachar Kutinati, Jeev Himsa, Pujala Patishtha. So all these are happen now. So that means Pujala Patishtha ke liye anchoring chal raha hai. ये मेरा साइड नहीं ले रहा तो ये जीव हिंसा करेगा इसके. All these kind of Kutinati, diplomatic, duplicitous dealings, Nishidachar, and then hiding the things. Everything happens when weeds grow. And if true bhakti is growing, and these two should be seen, whether they are coming up. Are we becoming more and more, our heart is flowing with open feelings of love. More and more love is coming. We cannot feel harm for any living entity. Like imagine we want, if Muslims are harming us, that means I should feel envious of the Muslims. Muslim ko bhi kaat dalo. Some of the devotees have such a vengeance kind of feeling towards Muslims. We have to ask them, are you walking pure devotion service? We may have to be protective towards our life. If we are in a position where we can punish those who are wrongly, doing the wrong, that is fine. But having a vengeance feeling is not at all pure devotion service. Like Arjun was killing with love. Arjun was killing the Kauravas with love. So heart should be soft. Heart should not become hard. You say, Prabhuji, how to kill with love, Prabhuji? Kill करना तो मारते समय कैसे होगा, इसीलिए भक्ति, ये भक्ति है प्रभु. ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवम मिथुदिया. Krishna, Arjuna had no feeling of threat from the Kauravas. He had no feeling of hankering for Rajya. He was only doing it for serving Krishna. Whatever it takes to serve Krishna, I'll do. So, Dhyayantu Bhutani Shivam Mithodya. One should be feeling for the welfare of others. If, say, some devotee did harm for us, at least if we cannot go out of the way, like Ambarish Maharaj is what? Ambarish Maharaj को अटैक किया किन्होंने? दुर्वासा मुनि. अम्बरीश महाराज ने तो बोला नहीं चक्रा को आने के लिए, चक्रा तो खुद ही आ गए बेचारे, एंड पीछे पड़ गए. अम्बरीश महाराज वाज नॉट हैप्पी. ही वाज सेइंग प्लीज प्लीज डोंट गो. बट देन हो गया पूरा ब्रह्मांड भ्रमित है. He went all over, and when Vishnu also gave him, sorry sir, after a long lecture from Vishnu ji, he came back, he understood I have to bow down to Ambarish only. And then Ambarish immediately begged forgiveness. Actually, he said to Sudarshan Chakra that please let go. He's a great rishi. I am feeling sorry that I have not been able to serve him. For so long he has been hungry. Please go. So Sudarshan, no, he offended you. I will first. No, you take all my piety, but if I have done any devotion to the Lord on that cost, please forgive me. Why are you asking forgiveness? You are not doing it. There's a dialogue in this Sadhava Hridaya Mayam book by Shivram Maharaj. The dialogue is going on. So Sudarshan is not feeling very compassionate because the Vaishnava forgives for his own self, but for another Vaishnava he will be very heavy. So Sudarshan is saying, "Ye offended, I not." So then, actually, Ambarish Maharaj goes out of the way to share his devotion credit to get pardon for Durvasa Muni. So we can't do that. That is too much, दूसरे के लिए जो आपको हार्म करने चला उसके लिए आप देने चल दिए अपना डिवोशनल क्रेडिट. At least we should offer prayers. We cannot do externally some good for the devotee who we feel like not positive about or something. If our heart does not remain soft, it is something going in the wrong direction. We should pray for the Muslims. They are suffering the most. Why? And the ignorance is there, violence feeling is there. They kill each other also like that. अभी ईरान बॉम्ब फोड़ रहा है इराक के ऊपर, दोनों मुस्लिम ही है वहां पे, तो मुस्लिम मुस्लिम को ही मार रहा है उधर. यूएस उधर वो अपना गुल खिला रहा है, इधर बम फोड़ रहा है, और ईरान इराक को मार रहा है. तो एक्चुअली इग्नोरेंस मेक्स एवरीवन सफर. यू सफर, यू मेक अदर सफर. So we should not feel disturbed by that they are making us suffer. We should feel disturbed by their suffering about their way of working. That's what Prahlad is teaching us here. That is what Amrish taught. So devotional service is a very exalted position actually. So we can't do, at least don't speak words which are full of vengeance. And if we cannot speak aloud to the whole world about this, at least when we go before the Lord, offer prayers for that person who you feel very disturbed by. If you feel that guy मर जाए, ऐसा बोलने का मन करता है ना, जाके भगवान को बोलो, भगवान take him back to God before I go. If you have that courage, you will see how much soft your heart will become gradually. Because bhakti is very magical actually. ऐसा नहीं कि आपका गॉडेड रोक के रखेंगे भगवान उसके, बट यू विल गो फास्टर टुवर्ड्स गॉडेड बिकॉज योर हार्ट इज सॉफ्ट. स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य कला प्रसिद्धम. Very beautiful verse. Similarly, our Durvasa also glorifies. What is that verse? Kritagas. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Oh. Very beautiful words. Where is Amrish? Ah, yeah. Ah, this one. Durvasa uvacha अहो अनन्तदासानां महत्त्वं दृष्टमद्य मे कृतागसोऽपि यद्राजन् मङ्गलानि समीहसे. My dear King, today I have experienced the greatness of the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although I have committed an offense, you have prayed for my good fortune. I offended you. I was killing you. Offend का मतलब कि मारने ही चल दिया था. ना दुष्कर को नु साधूनाम दुस्तजो वा महात्मनाम यही संगृह्यतो भगवान सात्वताम ऋषभो हरि. For those who have achieved the Supreme Personality, God is the master of the pure devotees. What is impossible to do, and what is impossible to give up? No? Yannama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmala Tasya Tirpada Kimva Dasanam Avashishyate. What is impossible for the servants of the Lord? But very hearing of the holy name, one is purified. So like that he says, he's amazed at the quality of Amrish. I was so, he didn't curse me. He just drank a little Charnamrit to break his fast, and I was so angry on that. And that I was ready to kill. And I was ready to kill, and this person did not ask for Sudarshan, but Sudarshan has come on his own. And the Lord is glorifying that I cannot do anything about this, but Amrish is the only person. He has given him the topmost position. Above Vishnu is Amrish in one sense, that way. And such a personality, Aham Bhakta Paradino, such a personality has no ego. He is ready to shell off his own credits for saving this fallen soul. You know? If you want to get intoxicated on the glories of the devotees, no, you should hear this Sadhava Hridayamayam. Read this book of Shivaram Maharaj. There is a drama also by Chopati. You can hear. It's 1 hour, powerful. I have kept it with me only. No? Drama. So बीच बीच में देख लेता हूँ उसको मैं. साधव हृदयमयम. अच्छा, I am only seeing. मेरे कंप्यूटर बैठ गया. Anyway, I'm not going to show you. Don't worry. I'm not having so much time. So, yeah. But beautiful. Okay, कहाँ हैं हम?
46.
Stepmother and your cousin brother will be killed by in the
Correct.
future. So Dhruva Maharaj was hearing that, but he could not reply on this point.
Lord took the offense. Devotee never takes offense.
No, Lord took offense. Lord explained to Dhruva that it will happen in future. So if directly so what do you express the qualities of Vaishnavas? So Dhruva Maharaj could not express.
He didn't want them to die. He didn't want.
He didn't want, but he could have requested the Lord, let them live, because envy is ended, na? Envy ended. So
Yeah, his envy is not there. That's why he's feeling remorse. That's what Lord has told me now. That this is what will happen. He's not feeling like that. Chau. You're saying that he could have a dialogue with the Lord. नहीं नहीं भगवान वो मत करिए भगवान आप वो इच्छा को वापस ले लीजिए. He is on Shuddha Bhakti platform only, and he, yeah. No, he is wishing well only for both of them. That's why he's feeling pain also, that because of me this will happen now. It is not the part of the pastime now. I have to ask the Lord only. क्यों नहीं पूछा, who's never here? No, some questions you can ask Dhruva or Bhagwan, you know. Don't ask me. क्या ध्रुव महाराज आपने ये क्यों नहीं पूछा? आचार्य बताएंगे तो बता देंगे आपको प्रभु. क्यों नहीं पूछा ये पता नहीं मुझे. No, but he is not having any. You will see, he has lot of feelings for Uttama. That's why he went overboard, because of feelings for Uttama. He went overboard in dealing with Yakshas. Okay. Read.
Suruchi, the younger mother of Dhruva Maharaj, seeing that the innocent boy had fallen at her feet, immediately picked him up, embracing him with her hands, and with tears of feeling, she blessed him with the words, "My dear boy, long may you live."
She also gave up envy, you know.
Suruchi.
You may live long, you know. Chiranjeev. Okay.
Unto one who has transcendental qualities.
Okay, this is a good verse. Yasya prasanno bhagavan gunai maitrayadibir hari tasmai namanti bhutani nimnam apa eva swayam.
Unto one who has transcendental qualities due to friendly behavior with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities offer honor, just as water automatically flows down by nature. Since Dhruva Maharaj was blessed by the Lord due to his transcendental qualities, everyone was bound to offer him all respects and benediction, just as water by its nature flows downward. A devotee of the Lord does not demand respect from anyone, but wherever he goes, he is honored by everyone throughout the whole world with all respect.
And then the example of Vrindavan Goswamis. Dhira Dhira Jana. A devotee having?
A devotee having pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all emanations, automatically pleases everyone, and thus everyone offers him respect.
Okay.
The two brothers, Uttama and Dhruva Maharaj, also exchanged their tears. They were overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love and affection, and when they embraced one another, the hair on their body stood up.
They're getting ecstatic symptoms.
Sunati, the real mother of Dhruva Maharaj, embraced the tender body of her son, who was dearer to her than her own life, and thus forgot all material grief, for she was very pleased. My dear Vidura, Suniti was the mother of a great hero. Her tears, together with the milk flowing from her breast, wet the whole body of Dhruva Maharaj. This was a great auspicious sign.
Yeah, so the point is given that it is like Abhishek. Water is used and milk is also there. So Abhishek is done, which is basically indicating that now he will become the king. The next king. Veerasu, you read?
Veerasu, a mother who produced a great hero. There are many heroes in the world, but there is no comparison to Dhruva Maharaj, who was not only a heroic emperor of this planet, but also a great devotee. A devotee is also a great hero because he conquers the influence of Maya. When Lord Chaitanya inquired from Ramanand Rai about the most famous man in this world, the latter replied that anyone who is known as a great devotee of the Lord is to be accepted as the most famous.
Yeah, so he's a hero because one has conquered Maya. He's a hero because he is actually declaring his, Prakriti Bhav to Purusha. So people want to be hero, people want to be famous, but they try to be Purusha Bhav and then they become slave to Maya. But someone who wants to declare himself as a devotee. So one time I was hearing, see, someone wants to show his Prabhav, then Lord shows his Prabhav, influence. And he's humbled. No, he does not become humble, he is humbled. And when the Jiva shows his Swabhav, then the Lord shows his Swabhav. When the Jiva shows his Swabhav of Prakriti, that I am just your humble, menial, insignificant servant, then the Lord says, my Swabhav is to be conquered by such love. Then he gives him all the Prabhav. The Lord is not after his Prabhav. Rather Lord, Yasho Labaswa. See, Krishna gave the credit and the Rajya for whom? For Arjun. तुम ही यश लो, तुम ही राज्य लो. हाँ? और खुद क्या ताली बजाया. So Lord does not want credit. When he conquered Ravana, he put Vibhishan on the throne. He finished Hiranyakashipu. कुर्सी पे बैठा, ऐसा नहीं कि खुद ही कुर्सी पे बैठने के लिए बैठे, प्रहलाद को बैठा दिया है ना. He removed Kamsa, he put Ugrasen. He removed Hiranyakashipu, put Prahlad. He removed Vali, he put Sugriva. He is not after post. The supreme post holder is not after post. He is not insecure. अभी थोड़ी देर मैं कुर्सी पे बैठता हूँ, वरना पता ही नहीं मेरा insecurity हो रहा है थोड़ा. So Lord is actually the real hero, and someone who accepts that hero, then Lord shows his स्वभाव. And what is his स्वभाव? यद्यपि ईश्वर तुम्ही परम स्वतंत्र तथापि स्वभाव होए प्रेम परतंत्र. स्वभाव भगवान का क्या है कि प्रेम के परतंत्र होने में उनको आनंद आता है. मैं तो भाई अमरीश का दास हूँ. तो अहम भक्त पराधीनो, तुम तो उनके पास जाओ, मेरे पास शक्ति नहीं है. तो भगवान बोलते हैं मेरे शक्ति नहीं. अरे हमारी सारी शक्तियाँ तो आपको सलाम करती हैं, आप कोई शक्ति नहीं. मेरी सारी जितनी शक्तियाँ हैं वो उनके अधीन है. अहम भक्त पराधीनो. भगवान प्रेम परतंत्र है. भगवान भक्त के पराधीन नहीं होते, प्रेम के पराधीन हो जाते हैं. So the Lord is actually subordinate to the devotee's love. So Dhruv Maharaj became the greatest hero because he became a great devotee. Okay, read.
The residents of the palace praised the queen. Dear queen, your beloved son was lost a long time ago, and it is your great fortune that he now has come back. It appears, therefore, that your son will be able to protect you for a very long time and will put an end to all your material pangs.
Dear Queen, you must have worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who delivers his devotees from the greatest danger. Persons who constantly meditate upon him surpass the course of birth and death. This perfection is very difficult to achieve.
So that is Sudur Jayam, very difficult to achieve. Okay, read.
Dhruv Maharaj was the lost child of Queen Suniti, but during his absence, she always meditated upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is able to rescue his devotee from all dangers. In other words, the Lord was worshipped by both the mother and the son, and both were able to achieve the supreme benediction from the Supreme Lord. The word Sudurjayam, an adjacent which indicates that no one can conquer death, is very significant. When Dhruva Maharaj was away from his home, his father thought that he was dead. Ordinarily, a king's son, only 5 years old, and away from home in the forest, would certainly be supposed dead. But by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only was he saved, but he was blessed with highest perfection.
Okay. Now all the reception will happen further. Okay.
The sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, when everyone was thus praising Dhruva Maharaj, the king was very happy, and he had Dhruva and his brother seated on the back of the she-elephant. Thus he returned to his capital, where he was praised by all classes of men.
So now he is finally seated on something. Okay. Whole city?
The whole city was decorated with the columns of banana trees maintaining the bunches of fruits and flower, and betel nuts trees with the leaves and branches were seen here and there. There were also many gates set up which were structured to give the appearance of sharks. Auspicious ceremonies with the decoration of the green leaves of palms, coconut trees, betel nut trees, and banana trees, and fruits, flower, and leaves are an age-old custom in India.
These are actually very good natural decorations, and we should think of keeping these kind of decorations also. Nowadays these इसका भी plastic version आता है सब plastic लगाते हैं, plastic leaves, plastic flowers. Natural item का.
At Each and every gate there were burning lamps and big water pots decorated with a differently colored cloths, strings of pearls, flower garlands, and hanging mango leaves.
Hmm. So hanging mango leaves you've seen this kind of big water pots are kept at the gates and all. Hmm? You all do? How many of your home places such things are done? रंगोली तो बनाते होंगे शायद.
Hanging mango leaves also.
तोरण ऐसे.
Toran.
मेरा प्लास्टिक का लगा हुआ है वो. City people. Yeah.
In the capital city, there were many palaces, city gates, and surrounding walls, which were already very, very beautiful. And on this occasion, all of them were decorated with the golden ornaments. The domes of the city palaces glittered, as did the domes of the beautiful airplanes which hovered over the city.
So airplanes are there already, huh? And these airplanes, Vijay Dwaja Tirtha says that this means the demigods also came to bless. Read this.
It also appears that all the domes of the city palaces, as well as the pinnacle of the airplane, were decorated with ornamental work in gold, and being reflected by the sunshine, they were all glittering. We can observe a specific distinction between Dhruva Maharaj's time and the modern days. For the airplane in those days were made of gold, whereas the present moment the airplane are made of base aluminium. This just gives a hint of the opulence of the Dhruva Maharaj's days and the poverty of modern times.
So when you see airplanes, sometimes people get mesmerized. Oh my God, planes. Plain, it is very plain. It is a plain metal, it's base aluminum. So we are very.
Aeroplanes were there that time.
दिखाए ना. विमान देखो विमान. Gold decoration was done. Alankritam Srimat. Glittering, see, Divi, glittering. Plane को भी glitter.
Aeroplane में आना चाहिए तो.
Huh?
He went to receive, so he can come in aeroplane only.
Who?
King Uttanpad when he went for receiving. Most opulent.
अरे वो demigods आए हैं उधर से.
अच्छा ये demigods का है ना?
हाँ लिखा है ना इधर.
Okay, ठीक है.
On the demigods from higher planets came in their
planes.
सही चीज के लिए सही चीज करेंगे ना प्रभु. सिटी के बाहर आने के लिए प्लेन यूज करेंगे. क्या है ना. अभी आपके पास प्लेन है तो क्या है, क्लासरूम से बाहर निकल के आश्रम तक जाने के लिए प्लेन यूज करोगे क्या.
Never heard kingdom using planes. This is demigods, na?
Yeah, but planes were there. Okay, anyway. पढ़िए.
All the quadrangles, lanes, and streets in the city, and the raised sitting places at the crossings, were thoroughly cleansed and sprinkled with sandalwood water. And auspicious grains such as rice and barley, and flowers, fruits, and many other auspicious presentations were scattered all over the city.
Actually, Radhesham was recently telling about voice preaching also, that we should engage boys in trying to do these simple things also. Otherwise, we may be saying preaching and this, that. See, when they do simple things like this for the service of the Lord, their senses get purified. They become devotionally purified. We was preaching karo, but mind is actually agitated with sex desire. When they do simple activities also, it's very important. Cooking, decorating in festivals, we should engage them in those. Okay.
Thus, as Dhruv Maharaj passed on the road, from every place in the neighborhood, all the gentle household ladies assembled to see him. And out of maternal affection, they offered their blessings, showering him with white mustard seed, barley, yogurt, water, newly grown grass, fruits, and flowers. In this way, Dhruv Maharaj, while hearing the pleasing songs sung by the ladies, entered the palace of his father. Dhruva Maharaj thereafter lived in his father's palace, which had walls bedecked with highly valuable jewels. His affectionate father took particular care of him, and he dwelled in that house just as the demigod live in their palaces in the higher planetary systems.
अभी बिल्कुल first class treatment, VIP treatment मिल रहा है. But he is already beyond it now.
The bedding in the palace was as white as the foam of milk and was very soft. The bedsteads were made of ivory with embellishments of gold, and the chairs, benches, and other sitting places and furniture were made of gold.
Hare Krishna.
The palace of the king was surrounded by walls made of marble with many engravings made of valuable jewels like sapphires, which depicted beautiful women with shining jewel lamps in their hands.
So, anyway, read this.
Dhruv Maharaj lived many millions of years ago, but the description of the palace of Dhruv's father is so glorious that we cannot accept that advanced human civilization did not exist even 40 or 50,000 years ago. There were walls like those in the palace of Maharaj Uttanapad even very recently during the Mughal period. Anyone who has seen the Red Fort in Delhi must have marked that the walls are made of marble and were once decorated with jewels. During the British period, all these jewels were taken away and dispatched to the British Museum.
Chor the British.
The conception of worldly opulence was formerly based mainly on natural resources such as jewels, marble, silk, ivory, gold, and silver. The advancement of economic development was not based on big motor cars. Advancement of human civilization depends not on industrial enterprises, but on possessions of natural wealth and natural food, which is all supplied by Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that we may save time for self-realization and success in the human form of body and in the
This he shares in first canto also a lot, that on the natural resources all the wealth was counted. This was not motor cars and big buildings and laptops and
Dhruv Maharaj's father Uttanpad would very soon give up attachment for his palaces and would go to the forest for self-realization. From the description of Srimad Bhagavatam, therefore, we can make a very thorough comparative study of modern civilization and the civilization of mankind in the other millenniums, Satyuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapar Yuga.
yeah.
The king's residence was surrounded by gardens wherein there were varieties of trees brought from the heavenly planets. In those trees, there were pairs of sweetly singing birds and almost mad bumblebees, which made
Almost mad bumblebee. These there is a comparison given. See, Matta Madhu Madhu. And Prabhupada has added the word almost there. You know. How do you measure the madness level of the bumblebee? Okay.
Which made a very relishable buzzing sound. The heavenly planets are known as Amarloka, the planets where death is very much delayed, because the people there lived for 10,000 years according to the calculations of the demigods, in which our 6 months are equal to 1 day. The demigods live in the heavenly planets for months, years, and 10,000s of years according to demigod time. And then again, after the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they fall down to this earth.
So 10,000 of the demigod years.
Demigod years.
And 1 year of the demigod is how much?
2 days.
No.
2 years.
1 year of ours is 1 day of demigod.
1 day of
So you multiply it with 365? 365 years of ours is 1 year of demigod. So 365 into
10,000.
10,000. Kitna?
Almost Amar.
36 lakh. 36 lakh 50,000 years. कितना साल कौन जीता है?
Demigod.
कितने दिन भोग करके फिर यहाँ आएगा तो कैसे उसका जीवन चलेगा? कितना संस्कार लेके आएगा वो? 36 लाख 50,000 ईयर्स उसने सब भोग किया है.
हाई क्वालिटी का.
उसके बाद उसको यहाँ पे
लोएस्ट क्वालिटी, लो क्वालिटी, मीडियम क्वालिटी.
Okay.
There were emerald staircases which led to lakes full of variously colored lotus flowers and lilies, and swans, karandavas, chakravakas, cranes, and similar other valuable birds were visible in those lakes.
पता नहीं कौन है चक्रवाक, पता नहीं ना. हाँ, चक्रवाक, कारण
चैट जीपीटी को भी पता है कि नहीं?
नाम ही नहीं, बस नाम बोलने में ही मुश्किल हो रहा है, देखने में
चैट
तो
जीपीटी को पूछते
छोड़ो भाई, चैट जीपीटी स्पेकुलेट करके आपको एक बर्ड बना के दे देगा।
The saintly king Uttanpad, hearing of the glorious deeds of Dhruva Maharaj and personally seeing also how influential and great he was, felt very satisfied, for Dhruva's activities were wonderful to the supreme degree. When he came back home, naturally because of his spiritual qualifications, he became very popular amongst the citizens. Formerly, the earth was ruled by one saintly king only. Kings were trained to become saintly, therefore, they had no other concern than welfare of the citizens. The science of God or the yoga system of
read from here.
the
Sentence.
saintly kings were properly trained, and as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita also, the science of God or the yoga system of devotional service known as Bhagavad Gita was spoken to the saintly king of the sun planet, and gradually it descended through the Kshatriya king.
Yogam, that one.
Uh-huh.
If the head of the government,
Kshatriya kings who were generated from the sun and the moon. If the head of the government is saintly, certainly the citizens become saintly, and they are very happy because both the spiritual and physical needs and hankerings are satisfied.
This is the true king who is very concerned about the Praja.
When after concentration, King Uttanapad saw that Dhruva Maharaj was suitably mature to take charge of the kingdom, and that his ministers were agreeable and the citizens were also very fond of him, he enthroned Dhruva as emperor of this planet. It appears that not only was King Uttanpad a Rajarishi, but before installing his beloved son Dhruva on the throne of the empire of the world, he consulted his ministerial officers, considered the opinion of the public, and also personally examined Dhruva's character. Then the king installed him on the throne to take charge of affairs of the world. If the post of
Okay, wait. So he consulted others also, right? So you'll see in Chitragata section, one very important instruction comes for leaders. Read.
The great sage Angira said, "My dear king, I hope that your body and mind and your royal associates and paraphernalia are well. When the seven properties of material nature, the total material energy, the ego, and the five objects of sense gratification are in proper order, the living entity within the material elements is happy. Without these seven elements, one cannot exist. Similarly, a king is always protected by seven elements: his instructor, Swami or Guru, his ministers, his kingdom, his fort, his treasury, his royal order, and his friends.
And then he says,
O king, O lord of humanity, when a king directly depends upon his associates and follows their instructions, he is happy. Similarly, when his associates offer their gifts and activities to the king and follow his orders, they are also happy.
किसको किसका पालन करना है प्रभु? पढ़ो दोबारा से, जरा ध्यान से पढ़ो.
Kings, उनके
when a king directly depends upon his associates and follow their instructions,
yes,
he is happy. Similarly, when his associates offer their gifts and activities to the king and follow his order, they are also happy.
both are.
Order किसको देना है? पहले आप. Read the purport.
The actual happiness of king and his dependents is described in this verse. A king should not simply give orders to his dependents because he is supreme. Sometimes he must follow their instructions. Similarly, the dependents should depend on the king. This mutual dependence will make everyone happy.
So both the parties should feel for a cooperative dealing, actually. See, sometimes the leader thinks that because I am the leader, they should all follow me. If someone is not under my control, he is wrong. Actually, king should think, I have not controlled my senses. I have not developed Vaishnava qualities. That is why they don't want to cooperate with me. I am not able to surrender to my masters. Not that you are wrong, you are wrong, And when the subordinate sees such a beautiful king who is only wanting to improve himself, he wants to actually surrender. And the subordinate should think that, even if the king is not pure, but he is sincere, and we should try to cooperate with him. Both the parties should actually take each other's opinions. Both the parties, when we say king, अपने पास king नहीं है यहाँ पे, but we may be, project managers or any leader post. We should never think that we deserve to be above these people who I'm serving as a leader. It is only a matter of just like Bharat thought that Lord Ram should actually be seated, so unki padukaएं रहेंगी. I will just serve the padukas. And then one should consult. Sometimes the subordinates have something important to say. You should not think that subordinates are muffs and I am the king. I know what is best. So one should consult the sages, one should consult. See, sages are people above, and Praja is below. See, he says 7 items. Read this. Again, the 7. A king is always protected by 7 elements. Who all?
His instructor, Swami or Guru.
So this means what? The
Spiritual.
devotees above us, and the senior personalities who can see the world, far off.
His ministers.
There are people who are with him here. They are subordinate to him, but they have a lot of wisdom,
His kingdom, his fort, his treasury, his royal order, and his friends.
Yeah. Like our Vibhishana was there. If Vibhishana had been given due, ear by Ravana, he could have been saved. But Ravana was so foolish, he gave a deaf ear to Vibhishana and finished. Vidura was there. Duryodhana, had he given a good, if Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana had certain open ear and heart to hear Vidura, things could have been solved. But they don't hear. So one should know that actually leader also needs subordinates. Yes. Subordinates need leader, leader needs subordinate. Mutual dependence. Prabhupada is saying, what is it? Kage mutual? Either. The mutual dependence will make everyone
happy.
So that's the point here. King also consulted other officers of his to put
Dhruva
Maharaj on the throne. When Darsharath did this, he checked with the Praja. The Praja was so happy. That Dashrath thought, was a very bad king. They were yes, Haribo. They were like super happy. It felt like he felt like depressed little. I think I have not done my service. Then who told? Who was the devotee one of the leaders there? Huh? Sumantra. One of them tells that don't think like this, Dashrath. Actually, your son is so good, no? They can't help themselves get attracted to Ram. That's why. You have done very well. You have to be given some security. So, patting on the back. Okay.
If the post of chief executive were occupied by such a Vaishnava, all the problems of satanic government would be solved. The youthful generation of the present day is very enthusiastic in trying to overthrow the government in different parts of the world. But unless people are Krishna conscious, like Dhruva Maharaj, there will be no appreciable changes in the government because people who hanker to attain political position by hook or by crook cannot think of the welfare of the people. They are only busy to keep their position of prestige and monetary gain. They have very little time to think of the welfare of the citizens. After considering his advanced age and deliberating on the welfare of his spiritual self, King Uttanpad detached himself from worldly affairs and entered the forest.
So he saw the succession plan is good, and I should deliberate on my welfare also. No? See, Atmanam Pravasyam Akal. Vimrishan Atmana. Deliberating Vimrishan Atmana Gatim. It means he was thinking of his own self-welfare also. So this should also go on. Sometimes leader is so busy trying to give welfare to others that he's not thinking of what is happening to his advancement. So this is a sign of Raj.
Sign.
Yeah.
This is a sign of Rajarishi. King Uttanpad was very opulent and was emperor of the world, and these attachments were certainly very great. Modern politicians are not as great as king like Maharaj Uttanpad, but because they got some political power for some days, they become so much attached to their positions that they never retire unless they are removed from their post by cruel death or killed by some opposing political party.
Either removed by cruel death or killed.
Practice of austerity in this is the main business of human life. As Maharaj Dhruva practiced austerity in his early age, his father Maharaj Uttanpad in his old age also practiced austerity in the forest. In modern days, however, it is not possible to give up one's home and go to the forest to practice austerity. But if people of all ages would take shelter of the Krishna consciousness movement and practice the simple austerities of no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, and no meditating, and chant the Hare Krishna mantra regularly 16 rounds, by this practical method, it would be very easy task to get salvation from this material world.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Srila Prabhupada has made much
Simple.
easier austerities. Thus ends the
Bhaktivedanta
Bhaktivedanta
purports
Purport
of the
4th
fourth
canto
canto,
9th chapter.
9th chapter of
Dhruv
Srimad
Maharaj
Bhagavatam
returns
titled
home.
Dhruva Maharaj returns.
So we have completed 9th chapter. 10th chapter has hardly any purport. Actually, I think it can get over in half an hour, just like we did this one. Last 20-25 verses we did very fast, no? If you see here, hardly any purports are there in the 10th.
Practical scenario, sometime where we go and the team members, most of the team members are not well trained. So most of the time, practical scenario, the people like to give opinions and they want to be heard, but they are not understood, means they are not matured through the devotional practices and training. So, but they are in team. So, how to deal such means
Yeah.
because if they are not heard, then they feel upset because they are.
See, it is very important for the leader to also think of training the subordinates in spiritual principles. That's why kings would arrange brahmanas to give spiritual discourses in mandapams. Big mandapams were set up. So kings should also think of elevating the consciousness of the subordinates. The mantris, everyone should actually hear. In Amrish Maharaj court, always Krishna Katha was going on. So when everyone is elevated, then when you are taking decision, you can consult others also. So we should think that I am vulnerable, but let me surround myself with wise people. See, even if we may think that they are not wise, they don't know things, but why are we wise? We are also wise by hearing only, no? So why can't we make them also wise? And let me have a wise people surrounding me rather than just followers who may say, okay, yes, boss. Because you will see people who are not elevated in consciousness, their hankerings will be of lower type. Sense gratification will be the norm. So then they will propose that for you also, that is what we should do. And they will never be satisfied with whatever rules you make. In fact, they will curse you for making many stops, many blockages in their sense gratification. So better rise the consciousness of the devotees so that you can serve them by ruling on spiritual principles. Like imagine someone has done a lot of donation. And because I have done a lot of donation, दीक्षा होना चाहिए हमारा. अरे डोनेशन देने से दीक्षा किसने बोला है? But when it's a Kanishta society, when no one is being trained in Krishna consciousness, then people take undue advantage of lower ideas. मैं इतना सेवा कर रहा हूँ, हम मैनेजर हैं यहाँ के, आप हमें नहीं देंगे, आप समझ, महाप्रसाद हमें मिलना चाहिए पहले, all foolish ideas, no spiritual principle, simply Gundagardi, I have the right. All this comes because of no spiritual foundation to the person. See, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. This is the hierarchy. So, Dharma and education is Brahmana's job. Under that should be administration. Under that should be, wealth and all the people who give the funding, donations. Then under that is the people who serve as a supporting system. But when the Brahmana class is not active in doing dharma, propagation of dharma and propagation of education, then you will see Kshatriyas will become corrupt. Then they will try to dominate. Then the people who are giving donations, they will become also, they will like to take power. So the artha will come up. And then artha will dominate over the decisions of the temple. हमने डोनेशन दिया तो हम डिसीजन लेंगे. किसने बोल दिया आप अर्थ के हिसाब से यू बिकम द ओनर ऑफ द डिसीजन? Decision should be based on what is good for the citizens. And people with the artha mentality, they will think itna, in one temple I was hearing that the temple ashram was full. So they said, so let us stop youth preaching because now ashram is full. Why? Because their vision is of that type कि बहुत पैसा. It's like Brahma sadhu के लिए how much funding is required? Or you don't give any fund to us. Actually, all brahmacharis should live on this standard. Don't give any fund to us. We will serve the Lord. Lord will maintain us. This should be our standard. We'll go out. We'll go to sabji market. Whatever donation come, bhiksham dei. 4 दाना मिलेगा, 4 दाना खा के रहेंगे हम. When if we are brahmachari, we should live on a brahmanical standard that I don't depend on donations actually. Donations are coming as an incidental thing, it's okay. Otherwise, I will go and do bhiksham dei, I'll eat something, I'll offer to the Lord and I'll eat something and move on. I want to do prachar karre. You are not maintaining me. When you become free from that inside, dependency in the heart, when the material desires are not choking that freedom, then the soul is also free and the people can also see that इसको रोक नहीं सकते. He is a swan. He is moving on. हम क्या बोलेंगे इसको? He is not dependent on us. He is already having faith on the transcendence actually. So more we become elevated and we help all others thought process also to get elevated, then the whole society goes in the wrong direction, right direction. Otherwise, the subordinates are like when this Swam Prabha cave, these people went. So they saw a lot of opulences there. So Angada was there, Hanuman was there, and many other Vanar. And Swam Prabha, she fed them nicely because they were all servants of Lord Ram. फिर वो बोले अरे अरे अभी बस समझ गए. अरे सीता पता नहीं कब मिलेगी नहीं मिलेगी. खाओ पियो मौज करो यहीं पे चलो मजा करते हैं. So they were talking of sense gratification because most people are Shudras actually. So if you talk to them like, what is their opinion? Their opinion is sense gratification. So Angada also went in the wrong track. Actually, Angada also went with these people. See, Duryodhan was also keeping the Praja happy. You know how? Feeding them a lot of sense gratification. But that type of sense gratification, they will only fight with each other. Actually, people who are selfish, they cannot remain united also. They'll fight, they will pull you down also because तुम क्यों बैठे हो? हम ही बैठेगा ऊपर. So one should know actually sense gratification, dharmic rule is where you cut the lower tendencies and help them elevate. So king should do that. But if he is doing that, he will do it and he will have a praja which will also give good wisdom at times. So that way the praja can be consulted when they have also become wise people. And everyone's opinion is also counted in the weight of what they are at. Like minister is not same as praja. Brahmanas are not same as ministers. So who should be, like if Vashishta Muni is saying something, it's one thing, right? Versus someone is praja is saying it's another thing. It's not the same weight. Okay, na? So like that. Okay, Prabhu, it's 2 o'clock. So we have closed with 2 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam and we have But the next one is very short. It will take only maybe half an hour to 1 hour to finish it. It has hardly any purpose also. Well, it's more like reading only. पांडुरंग शरणपु को माइक दे देंगे, खटाखट पढ़ डालेंगे. After that, the next one comes where our Swayambhav Manu and Kubera, they all give advice. ये नेक्स्ट वाले में तो बस झगड़ा होता है ना, झगड़ा हो गए सब, नो. तो उसमें कुछ ज़्यादा some 1-2 purports are very, है ना, we can do some dwelling over it. Rest is just reading. मैं तो सोचा था वो ख़त्म ही कर दूंगा, लेकिन मेरा सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन हो गया बीच में. Elaborate something. Okay, Prabhus. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai. Hare Krishna. प्रभु जी ने लास्ट में क्वेश्चन पूछा, तो प्रभु जी. यस यस.
Hare Krishna. So it was a great fortune. Actually, we got Sangha Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, generally devotees like the association of all senior Vaishnavas. And Prabhuji, in terms of his dedication service, is too engaged actually, almost as the Vice President board, more than almost similar level. Still, on our kind request, Prabhuji took out his time and flowed us in nectarian realizations. By his own example, we have seen, and by his words also, we are able to understand it so deeply. Actually, Prabhuji was one time saying that please pray to Lord for yourself, but also for ISKCON as our society, that our society should go ahead. So this itself shows that how much feeling Prabhuji has for Prabhupada mission, and that's why all the things we can see are so much relevant to, so that we all can serve with pure heart. As I think it was a good drilling in the hearts of all our anarthas coming out. With every of his words, we could detect, and we'll surely try to work on it. And of course, it is not over. Again, we will have great fortune to have Prabhuji in the upcoming weeks also. So let us very heartily thank with to Prabhuji by one time loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Grace Anatrdvip Prabhu ki.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Actually, all of you gave me chance to dwell on Shastra. I told Radhashampu, I think Prabhuji, this is good way. I love Shastra. I love hearing, but somehow, life really taxes like, So when Sachin Bhagwanpu sent me a message, I first wrote, no, Prabhu, I'm busy, this. Okay, yes. यस कर देते हैं उसको, यस करके एंटर दबा दिया. मतलब देखेंगे क्या करेंगे, पता नहीं, जो भी होगा हो जाएगा. वो भी क्या गौरंग साहब के जज्ब बात था, because I thought that I think Krishna will somehow pull me up through all of your kind mercy on me this way. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. प्रभु जी माफ करना, मैं दे माफ कर उनके जितने आशीर्वाद चाहिए, जितने संकट हैं, जो भी प्रॉब्लम बता रहे सॉल्व हो रहे हैं, इंद्र में गुजरा था तो ये सबके लिए जाने का नहीं के लिए पूछा, कोई जनरल भी दे. थैंक यू. कैसे अभी जाएंगे ओला आपका many doubts clear. Thank you. आपको प्रसाद मायापुर का प्रसाद है, गरीब प्रसाद ले लिया. थैंक यू.